Seth Russell, who's got talent, but they don't quite yet know how he's going to perform.
He's waited his turn. He's been patient, which is not a popular thing right now in college football, Dave. A lot of them are transferring, but he learned from Nick Florence. He learned from Bryce Petty. He knows what to do. The coaches believe in him. He's done it off the field. Now tonight, can he take it to the big stage?
Well, for a little more on Seth Russell, new starting quarterback for Baylor, we will welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Allison Williams. Allison?
Hey, guys, the biggest unknown and the key for this football team, bar none, is Seth Russell. That's what Art Briles told us yesterday. Russell is a junior, and he started a game last year for the Bears. But Briles said we don't know how he's going to respond to being the guy. It's a good test for him tonight. He's on the road, playing near his hometown as the team that's a fourth-ranked team in the country and the defending Big 12 Conference champions. So the test tonight is how he responds. But Art Briles said he just wants to see something from his quarterback. He said he's so even keel. He told him just to go out there and show me your breathing. Yes, the Bears are trying to see how they can win with their new quarterback while letting Russell be Russell.
So we'll be looking for a smile, maybe looking for a fist pump from Seth Russell, who takes the reins of this Baylor offense here tonight. For SMU, a totally different story coming off a miserable year last year, but Chad Morris has brought a lot of excitement to this program.
New culture, new attitude, a change in the SMU program. This may not be the end result tonight because he's starting new against a team that's trying to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it will be a very difficult challenge for Coach Morris and for the Mustangs. A one-win season last year. Baylor, meanwhile, they were 11-2, and lots of Baylor fans will be here tonight. Baylor has won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff, so we're going to see that high-powered Bears offense on the field right away. And there has not been, there have been lots of expectations these last few years around this Baylor team. Never quite like this.
Now, Baylor averaged 87.5 plays per game last year, Dave, the most in college football. So that'll be one of the question marks tonight. Can SMU keep them off the field?
So the season for these two teams starts and a touchback. So the Baylor offense will come out and begin at the 25-yard line. And here is the kid we were just talking about. He's been around for 3 full years in this program. Seth Russell, though, for the first time is Baylor's primary starter.
And it'll be interesting to see if Kendall Briles, the new offensive coordinator at Baylor, gives him something easy to get started that'll make him comfortable, or will he take a deep shot out of the box?
And there are just so many weapons for Russell to work with. All the returning talent on the offensive side. There is Kendall Briles, the new offensive coordinator, the son of the head coach, Art Briles. And the Bears' offensive season gets started here. We will see the up-tempo. We'll see the pass. We'll see the run. And likely a lot of points on the board. Russell's going to take a deep shot right away, and the pass is caught right away. Corey Coleman, who may be their #1 playmaker, with a big gain down the field.
Well, all of a sudden, 43-yard play out of the box. I think Seth is confident. The fist pump is there, and now we can go play. Great call by Kendall Briles.
So that ought to settle down. A guy who's had experience, but this is a little different. Quick to the line, quick handoff, and a huge hole right up the middle for Shock Linwood, who gets dragged down inside the 10. 2 plays into Baylor's season. It's 1st and goal.
They're lining up very quickly. They're trying to jump on that SMU defense that didn't have much success last year to put their backs against the wall early.
43 through the air. Second play, 25 on the ground. They'll give it to Linwood, who breaks a tackle. Trying to get to the outside. And he will get to that edge, but is dragged out of bounds at around the 3-yard line by Jesse Montgomery. 2nd and goal.
Got to play great red zone defense, and you can't miss tackles in open field. And already, before they're tired, SMU missed a couple of tackles with Linwood on the sweep.
So Linwood comes out of the game. Devin Chafin comes in. He's the tailback on the left side of Russell. And they will give it to Chafin right into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, Baylor made that look ridiculously easy. 4 plays, and it's 6-0 Bears. 4 plays, 75 yards. It took 50 seconds to get from the 25 into the end zone.
Exactly what Baylor wanted. Come out of the box. Now nobody's talking about the suspensions. We're up 7-0. We've already put the defense for SMU in a tough spot. They've already lost some confidence that has been building for 6 months. Now they've got to go back and answer. Stay on the field, but answer.
Chris Callahan with the extra point, up and good. And so Baylor into the end zone. The pass play on their first play from scrimmage all year set the whole thing up.
Very good protection. Seth throws it deep to their number 1 guy, Corey Coleman. He's the spirit. He's the most explosive player. They go actually against the best corner in Richardson for SMU, so that sent a message. We're going to put our best on your best, and we're going to be better tonight.
Corey Coleman, the junior from Richardson, Texas, he's got a chance to have a special year. He had a big year last year, played in only 10 games, almost 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's an All-American type talent for Baylor. And then that guy, Devin Chafin, the one who punched it into the end zone.
Yeah, he's their big back. He's a guy weighs about 230, 227, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to pound them inside with the big guys, and then they're going to throw deep and get the speed guys in space outside.
Kendall Briles with a quick word. What do you say to your quarterback after he takes you down to the end zone in 4 plays? You don't have to say a whole lot.
I think they're all smiling and high-fiving. Coach Briles told him, if you want to, the first time you throw a touchdown pass, sling it over Mockingbird, and I'll be happy to see you with the emotion. I think he's answered the question to start with.
41 touchdown drives of 2 minutes or less last season, and already one here in 2015. And that kickoff is not going to count. The whistles blow.
Delay game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Free kick.
A little too much enthusiasm. Celebration on the sideline.
I think so. It's early season, early game mistake. But the kicker gets out there. He's checking the wind. He's kicking into a little bit of wind. He's worried about making sure his first kick's going to the right place, and he took too long.
Yeah, so Coach Briles won't be thrilled with his kickoff specialist, Spencer Evans. He'll move back 5 yards. True freshman Braden West is deep to receive for SMU. We will see a lot of young players for the Mustangs.
You can't have penalties before the snap of the ball. And now they're put in a tough position into the wind. SMU needs to get a good return here.
That kickoff be taken at around the 5-yard line and returned by Braden West, who's got speed and he's got an opening. Cuts it middle to the 50 and upended finally near the 45-yard line of the Bears. So there's a spark for SMU.
And I think you have to go back to the special teams coach, Keith Gunn of SMU, and give him credit. But also, when you look at it, it was a shorter kick because of the penalty. He started up inside. He broke out to the left. They had a sideline return. Very good blocking. And now you're in a very good position if you're SMU starting out in the field position on your side of the 50.
Well, there was a big hole, but you see the burst of speed from the true freshman. And Chad Morris told us they found a good one in him. They are very excited about his potential. So now it's Matt Davis, the quarterback, who's an excellent all-around athlete. He's going to pass on first down. Trying to take a deep shot himself. He's got a man, and it is caught! Touchdown! Cortland Sutton, what an answer! 46 yards. Baylor took 4 plays. SMU takes 1.
Well, we said these coaches had some similarities. They've got the same game plan on number 1. Look at Matt Davis step up in the pocket here. He's got pressure. He steps up. He plants his feet. He makes the perfect throw to the number 1 receiver. Tall guy, Sutton, 6'4 plus at SMU for the touchdown. All of a sudden now we've said, okay, big boys, the big Baylor guys, we're coming here to play too. So this isn't going to be as easy as you thought.
Chad Hedlund, who is a new place kicker for the Mustangs, his extra point is up and perfect. So you got a new era of football here at SMU. What a way to announce to your fans that it's going to be a little different this year for the Mustangs. 4 plays for Baylor, 1 into the end zone, and SMU ties the game at 7. Saw on ESPN. Tonight we're in Dallas. And what a start. Baylor, 4-play drive into the end zone. SMU, their first play from scrimmage in 2015. And the Mustangs with the deep pass for a touchdown to tie the game at 7. We're barely a minute into this one and already a touchdown on both sides. And for everybody who's still trying to make their way into the stadium, sorry, you missed some action already.
Well, they heard that touchdown, Dave, so they're running in now. Both coaches started the game exactly like they wanted to. Art needed to get his quarterback comfortable, and SMU needed to get a little confidence and help that defense.
Last year, SMU lost to this Baylor team 45-0. They had 67 total yards in that game. They had 46 on their first play tonight alone, and they will kick it deep into the end zone for another Baylor touchback. So before the Bears run a play, let's send it downstairs to Allison Williams.
SMU's defensive coordinator Van Balone told his defense you can't have missed tackles, and they need to make sure when Baylor checks that they don't reveal their hand. But the biggest thing he told his guys is just to calm down. He said, hey, that's over. We got to move on, get your head right, and get back out there. Because it might be tough to calm down after the Mustangs answered with a touchdown of their own. This sideline absolutely erupted.
Well, you know, for all those SMU kids who, many of whom endured last year, it took one play, and this season I think already has a different feeling.
Yeah, it's a great report, Allison. He's got to keep them playing. Try to keep some confidence on defense.
Seth Russell with the play fake, and he'll go middle. He finds Coleman again, who's got that great speed. To the 35, to the 30. Coleman inside the 20 and the 15. Well, welcome to this game. We are going to go up and down the field.
And so far, they've put Coleman on Richardson, the best corner for SMU. And he's out there one-on-one because they've got to keep the guys inside to stop the run. And Coleman's winning that battle of one-on-ones.
So that one was 60 yards. Seth Russell has completed his first 2 passes of the year. He's already over 100 yards. And from the shotgun, throws middle, intended for Coleman once again, but incomplete.
Russell's pass intended for Coleman, incomplete.
Shaquille Randolph with the coverage. Well, we figured there was going to be offense in this game. Even by Baylor and Chad Morris standards, this has been quite a start. Coleman will come out. They'll hand it off to Shock Linwood, who spins through a tackle and is inside the 5. That's a first down, a run of 11 yards for Shock Linwood.
That's what SMU can't allow. They can't allow, they get their penetration, they hit the running back in the backfield, and Mason Gentry misses the tackle and they gain yards.
So right away to the line of scrimmage. Russell keeps it. Russell, touchdown.
Seth Russell as the keeper for the Baylor touchdown.
They don't use the zone read very often, but that's what makes it such a successful play for Baylor. Run up inside, get all the eyes inside, and all of a sudden he keeps the ball outside and goes in untouched. He's reading number 96, the defensive end. He came down, or 99, Lawyer. He was very aggressive, and Seth smartly read the play, took the ball outside, and stepped in the end zone. It's been 2 easy scores for Baylor.
They've had the ball twice, 4 plays, 75 yards, both times exactly the same, and both times ending up in the end zone. It was Chafin on the first drive. Russell kept it himself this time. Another extra point coming with Chris Callahan, and it is good. 52-second drive. That time a little slower than their 50-second drive to start the game. And Chad Morris will try to get his guys to regroup. Well, we mentioned it in the open, and it has certainly been a big story around this Baylor football program. In recent weeks, former Baylor player Sam Ukuwachu was found guilty of sexually assaulting a fellow Baylor student. He never played in a game for the Bears, but there have been a lot of questions about what did Baylor know about what we now know is a violent past before he came to Waco. He was a freshman All-American at Boise State, dismissed from their team, suspended in 2014, a few weeks ago found guilty of sexual assault. And perhaps in part because of this, the Big 12 is now implementing some rules about transfers with offenses in their past and not allowing them to transfer into the conference. We talked to Art Briles yesterday about it, and he reiterated to us he had no knowledge of Ukuwachu's violent past before he came to Baylor. And he fully supports an investigation that's going to be conducted by an outside legal firm. Kickoff, SMU, not as good of a return this time. They will start inside the 20-yard line, but it is a serious story and a big story around this Baylor football team.
And they've been able to keep their focus with such a horrific act on campus. And Coach Briles told us yesterday he welcomes the outside investigation because he felt like he handled things right. And obviously the investigation will say whether that's true or not.
Now the Bears on defense. SMU scored on their first play from scrimmage. Matt Davis hands it off. A shifty little move. That's Xavier Jones, the true freshman, the other true freshman in the backfield for SMU. So we saw a kick return from Braden West, and their second freshman running back gets his first career carry.
Yes, Chad Morris signed 22 young guys, all from the state of Texas, to put his emphasis on high school football in the state of Texas. Many of those guys will play tonight.
Yeah, that will be a big theme of their team and their program going forward. Prescott line as a tailback. They're going to pitch it coming around the edge to Xavier Castillo, who's got good speed. But he got hit hard right near that first down mark. SMU does get the first down, though.
Well, the strength of this SMU football team is obviously their offense. They've struggled on defense so far, but their offense has moved the ball. Another first down, showing a lot of confidence in the early stages.
Matt Davis, the quarterback. A keeper for Davis, who's got great speed and athleticism and the ability to break tackles across the 45 out near the 47-yard line.
Again, the zone read. He's looking at the running back. He's looking at the defensive end. He's reading number 56. He takes the dive. Quarterback comes outside. He's got really strong legs. He's built strong, and he runs through tackles.
Oh, that's how you execute the zone read. That's perfect.
Absolutely.
Davis hands it off this time. Xavier Jones tackled after a short gain. Our impact players for this one when SMU has the ball. And Matt Davis impacts the game in a lot of different ways. Andrew Billings, part of a very talented defensive line for Baylor.
Yes, we've seen Matt Davis throw it deep for a touchdown. We've seen him run the zone read for plays, but they're not making a lot of yards up inside of big Andrew Billings. Strongest man on their team.
Maybe the strongest man in college football.
Yes.
Second down and long in the pocket, and now scrambling. He's got room to run. He'll get a first down and more to the 35, to the 30. Tackled by Grant Campbell near the 27-yard line. We're seeing that athleticism from number 4, Matt Davis.
Modern day football with a spread, your quarterback needs to make some off-schedule plays with his feet. We saw a schedule play with a zone read. Now he's got a drop back pass, and he runs and makes big yardage for a first down.
Yeah, 24 yards on that carry. Quick hitter out to the left side. It is complete. Not a lot of room there. Nowhere to go for Xavier Castillo, another true freshman. Well, the quarterback, Matt Davis, I mean, he is a fascinating story, Coach, because he, in this state of Texas, he was a big-time player in high school, committed to Texas A&M, now finds his way here to SMU, and he was thrilled when Coach Morris took this job.
Yeah, this is the perfect offense for him, and Chad's really excited about him moving forward.
2nd and 9. Rolling to his left, he'll keep it again. That stutter step move, you could see that quickness inside the 15. SMU first down.
Another off-schedule play. He fakes the run up inside. He's got a bootleg out to the left. He sees that they've dropped off and covered the receivers, so he runs for the first down. Another first down, great drive.
And we've had all kinds of yardage. We've had 3 touchdowns already. We have a total of 16 plays from scrimmage in this game.
And SMU's moving a little slower than Baylor.
And I think that's by design. Nobody's even had a third down play yet. Prescott line, breaking tackles himself. That's powerful running by the junior.
Once again, you're out there on the field in the heat, getting a long drive, and both teams on defense are missing tackles.
Prescott line, one of the more experienced players on this SMU team. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. They can get a first down at about the 3-yard line. This will be the 9th play of the drive for the Mustangs, trying to tie the game. Davis gives it again to line, not this time. He got crunched right up the middle, and that is big number 75, Andrew Billings.
Andrew's really tough straight ahead. They felt like they had to double team him throughout the game. Here, they tried to double team him. He split both of them and stopped them for no gain, which now puts you in a 3rd down and 4 instead of a 3rd down and 1 or 2 where you have more options.
His helmet did come off, so he's got to leave the field for this 3rd down play, and it's a big one. 3rd and 4, first 3rd down of the game on either side. Davis will hand the ball off line. Right near that 1st down mark, and it's going to depend on the spot. I think he got the 1st down, but it looks close. But based on where they spot the ball, that's an SMU 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yes, and regardless, Chad Morris would have gone for it here because he's going to have to score some points tonight, stay on the field. And one of his keys was to make 60% of the 3rd down, so that was a key play for him. 3rd and 4, he runs up the middle, still makes the 1st down.
You're a 36-point underdog to the 4th-ranked team in the country. You can't kick field goals inside the 10. Now a penalty flag thrown, and that could be a big one against the Mustangs. I think they moved early.
Full start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's the left tackle, Chauncey Briggs.
Can't have it. It's just something you cannot do. Chauncey's been around. He's a junior. Big guy. You're in scoring position, and now it's much harder to make a 1st and 8 than it is 1st and 3. So you've got to have a lot of discipline near the goal line. There wasn't shifting. There wasn't motion. You can't have that penalty.
Big number 75 back in the game. So it's 1st and goal, but a little more difficult spot here. A pitch play, right side. Well defended, but missing tackles. Xavier Jones squirts his way inside the 5 down to the 4. That could have been a loss.
Chad was really excited about his 2 freshmen in Jones and West at running back. We've seen both of them make some spectacular plays early in the game, and it shows you the impact that Chad Morris is going to have in recruiting the state of Texas. They have speed, and those 2 young guys, it looks like Baylor speed.
So 2nd and goal from the 4. And what figures like it's 4-down territory again for the reasons we just talked about.
Absolutely, and they made up the penalty on 1st down, so they're back to normal down situation. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Tight end Jeremiah Gaines came in motion. They will hand it off up the middle. There's that freshman end zone touchdown. Xavier Jones, the first one of his career, and SMU's an extra point away from tying this game.
Freshman from Spring, Texas. He showed vision, he showed quickness, and then power when he got near the goal line.
Now Art Briles, he and the Bears may have a fight on their hands tonight.
Ball up inside, he breaks it over to the left side. Really, really good vision, but then he runs behind his pads and gets through. And we're also talking about now 2 suspended leaders that were great players. So now somebody on that Baylor defense is going to have to step up and take up the hole that's left by the 2 suspensions.
Well, you're right. Orion Stewart, safety. Sean Oakman, All-American candidate defensive end, not playing, suspended, violation of team rules. And the Baylor defense is getting hurt here in the early going. That extra point ties the game. How about SMU? First game under their new head coach, and they are not backing down against one of the most talented teams in the country. The freshman, Xavier Jones, ties it up at 14.
Football is presented by Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Sandwiches and in part by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Our aerial coverage tonight here in Dallas provided by Goodyear. Whether you drive 100 yards or 100 miles, choose Goodyear tires for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams here on the campus of SMU. What a start in this game on both sides. But yeah, there's some excitement with this Mustangs team. Mac, they averaged 11 points a game last year. They got 14 already in this one. They had 67 total yards and were shut out by Baylor last year. Tonight already 132 yards and 14 points.
Everything's going exactly like SMU wanted it to. If you'd have told me and them it was going to be 14-14 with 7:02 left in the first quarter, they'll just say, keep playing defense, get us a stop every now and then. Offense, keep doing what you're doing. And Coach Briles and his bunch over there are not happy. and they're going to jump on them, and they'll try to score quickly, but the defense has got to start stopping the run-in plays, because that's what's hurt them more than the one deep pass.
Well, I do think that and maybe Baylor expected to be challenged in this game, but for a lot of us, this is a surprise. We're halfway through one quarter, but SMU is not backing down from one of the most talented teams in the country. And another touchback before Baylor gets the ball back. Let's check in with the studio and Adnan Burke. Adnan.
All right, Flem, thank you very much. A great sports night here on ESPN. On ESPN2 at Serena Williams looking for the calendar slam, taking on Bethany Maddox Sands. And right now, Maddox Sands has a 3-0 lead. Also, Michigan State leading 7-0. That was Madre London with a touchdown. That's on ESPNU, but Western Michigan just returned a kick for the score. So lots of excitement, Flem. Back to you.
All right, well, that would be a surprise if Western Michigan, which is a talented team, could hang with Michigan State. This one so far certainly is that as well. 14-14. Baylor has run 8 plays from scrimmage, and they've gone down the field 75 yards 2 different times. Handoff, left side running. Devin Chafin, who is a very strong back. He gets 5 on the first down carry.
Devin Chafin with the carry for the Bears.
He's healthy, and Baylor thinks he can be another weapon in this high-powered offense.
Big guy, got speed.
That pass complete to Coleman on the outside. He's having a big game already. Corey Coleman wrestled out of bounds. That counts as a very short gain by his standards, but Ian Baylor gets the first down.
Obviously, Corey Coleman's their go-to guy. He's their mature guy, really tough guy, explosive guy.
We haven't seen KD Cannon yet. Russell's going to try to find Cannon deep down the middle, but there was some miscommunication there because Cannon came inside. Russell just threw it down the seam. Richardson with the coverage incomplete.
One great thing for Baylor, they brought in a lot of speed, a lot of track guys out of high school to play wide receiver. Coleman and KD Cannon run in the 4.2, 4.3 range really fast.
No other team in the country brings back 2 guys who had 1,000 or more yards receiving last year. There's some of that power from Chafin. He'll get the first down.
Baylor runs the ball much better than people think they do. Everybody talks about the speed, the wide receivers, but when you spread out to try to stop those guys, they're going to run it up inside.
Quick to the line of scrimmage. Another carry for Chafin into SMU territory. He gets 4, maybe 5 yards on first down. This is not, say, Mike Leach's almost all passing style spread offense. This, as you're making that point, the run game is huge for Baylor. Russell maybe making an adjustment to the play call. All alone in shotgun. He's looking to keep it, makes a man miss, cuts it to the outside. He gets the first down.
Now we're seeing his athleticism. He makes 2 guys miss him in the backfield. SMU cannot continue to miss tackles, but great play off schedule when you start looking at Seth Russell. It wasn't blocked properly. There's 2 guys there. He made it anyway.
Bryce Petty was a great quarterback, right, Coach? But it's a little different athleticism, I think, with Russell, who slipped some pass rush and finds Coleman across the middle for a gain of 11.
Yes, once again, Seth steps up, seeing his feet, making plays off schedule, then he flips it to Coleman. Another first down.
Baylor moving the ball again. Inside the 30, quick release, pass caught, huge hit. The helmet flies off of Lynx Hawthorne, but he hangs on to the ball. Inside the 25.
That's still something Van Malone can build on. Big hit. Big hit. He said, you've got to be able to hit back when they hit you. Baylor's hitting them. He came back and made the great play.
Kyron Mitchell, redshirt freshman from Houston. I think he's got a chance to be a playmaker in that linebacker core. Play fake. That slant up in the air and knocked down incomplete. Intended for Jay Lee, and that ball was hanging for a second. SMU could not snatch it for the turnover, but it sets up 3rd and 4.
Jay Lee's the most experienced receiver. Normally he's going to catch that ball.
So 3rd and 4. The big kid, number 80. You see him on the right side of the offensive line. Laquan McGowan is in at tight end. He's a blocker on this play. They're going to the end zone. Cannon, incomplete. Good coverage. 4th down, we'll see what Baylor decides to do. That's Jesse Montgomery with the coverage.
I feel like this is a game of points. Coach Briles is obviously talking to Kendall Briles right now, but he's going for it, and I would not suspect anything else. 3 points isn't going to win this game. They're all trying to get 7.
Now McGowan comes off the field. They bring 4 receivers out there, and Shock Linwood is the tailback on 4th and 4. Chance for a big play for the SMU defense.
Be a huge confidence boost here if SMU can come up with a stop.
Russell completes it, but I don't know. He got very close, and this will depend on where they spot the ball. Pass complete to Chris Platt. And I'm not sure. Well, they're going to stop the clock. They want to measure this one.
SMU came out with the all-out blitz. They brought everybody up inside. They thought he would probably try to run quarterback or the big back up inside. Good play call. Seth throws the ball. Did he get to the line of scrimmage? It's very, very close.
Man, that is as close as it gets, but he got there. SMU fans started to cheer. They thought that it was short. That's how close it was.
This is why coaches live and die. The receiver has to get to the first down mark. He has to make it. Now you may see Chad Morris go ahead and try to get a replay.
And I think it could also be that the replay booth itself is going to initiate a review, and I think that's what's going to happen. They are going to review this upstairs and make sure that the spot on the field was the correct one.
And you could see Baylor was up there trying to snap that ball very quickly.
Yeah.
Because you don't want this to go to a review.
We saw that in the TCU game last night where there was a disputed call. TCU got to the line as fast as they could and actually snapped the ball, and they had a timeout called before that snap and ended up reviewing and reversing the call.
Well, and now on the Baylor sideline, SMU sideline, the coaches are talking about the Baylor defense has to be ready to go out if they didn't make it. The Baylor offense has to have a play called if they do make it. And that one's very, very close. SMU's doing the same thing. SMU's defense will be ready to go back out and play, but they've got an offense ready with a play called. Both sides of the ball have to be prepared.
Yeah, it is an interesting scenario. To me, this is an example of one of those plays where is there enough evidence with those video looks to overturn the way they call the play on the field? And I would say I don't think there is.
These are the calls that drive coaches absolutely crazy.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
First down, Baylor.
And I think that's the right. I give the replay officials credit for stopping and looking. It's definitely a big play, worth doing it. But Baylor will keep the ball.
Yeah, I had to stop and look at it. I love instant replay because it makes sure that we get it right.
If you hear the word stands, that means they'll let the call on the field stand. They couldn't confirm with absolute 100% certainty that the call was right, but there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call. If you hear that language confirmed, they saw for sure that the call was the correct one. That was first down, Baylor, 11-play drive, a little more methodical. This one's taken 2.5 minutes, this drive so far.
And it doesn't matter what words they say, it's still a first down.
Yep. Certainly for the coach's perspective, that's true. Pass complete. There's KD Cannon inside the 10, close to the 5, pushed out of bounds. Baylor first down. It'll be first and goal.
KD Cannon's a really, really fast player. They like to get him in space, but especially on the deep ball.
12 yards on that pass completion. So first and goal, Linwood alongside Seth Russell in the backfield. That pass caught right at the goal line. Touchdown. Jay Lee spins through the well, the VAR official I thought signaled touchdown, but this official says no, it's short by about a half a yard. So one of those officials shot the hands up in the air. It'll be second and goal. Baylor's not going to wait around. But before they get that ball snapped, we're going to have another replay look at it.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was short of the goal line. The play is under further review.
So they're going to look at it. And there was some question, I thought. Roy Reynolds is the replay official tonight, part of this American crew. I think he's in.
Looks like he's in.
His knee was not down.
Looks like a touchdown. Shows tremendous confidence from Kendall Briles to Seth Russell, throwing a slant to his most experienced player, Jay Lee, for the touchdown. So they're turning it loose with the quarterback. They've taken the shackles off. He's ready to play.
Well, this one shouldn't take long for Roy Reynolds up top as our replay official. That look was pretty definitive as far as I'm concerned. That knee did not hit the turf.
No, but I also like the officials trying to help each other and work together. If they're not sure, they're going to say it's close, but we'll get to see it in the long run.
So Jay Lee should get to celebrate here in a moment. I think he and Coach Briles know that he got that one in.
They've got somebody upstairs that's watching closely that can tell them. And now you get your kick teams ready. Good drive by Baylor.
Todd LaPenta is the head referee. He's got the headset on the field talking to the replay official up top.
And some things go unnoticed, but that fourth down conversion by Baylor may be the difference in this ball game, because now SMU's got the pressure to come back and answer again. They've answered twice. Can they do it for a third straight time?
It was huge, and it was very, very close. SMU made some progress, I think, defensively on that possession. I, frankly, am not sure why this is taking so long. So whether they're not seeing the proper angle there, but to me, the knee is not down. The ball is clearly across the goal line. There, it's close. His knee comes close, but it is not down there. And somehow he keeps his balance.
Once again, very experienced
After
player,
further
Jay
review,
Lee.
the previous play was a touchdown.
So that confirms what we knew, that it was a touchdown, and Baylor will send the extra point team on. Jay Lee, and as Coach said, he is one of the most experienced players on this roster, and it kind of flies under the radar in a way because of the spectacular production of Coleman and Cannon, but he's a real good player.
He's a good player. He's experienced. He's tough. They kind of call him the old man. He's got a really good personality, but he's got a settling effect on this offense.
Extra point up and good. So we've got an offensive explosion here in Dallas. Baylor up 21-14. Stream every game live at home or on the go. Just download the Watch ESPN app or visit watchespn.com. We are back here on the campus of SMU in Dallas, and a beautiful scene. Still in the first quarter, 3:46 to go, and yeah, lots of offense. 21-14, fourth-ranked team of the country. Baylor with the lead. We've had combined 357 yards of offense in 11 minutes. Nobody's punted. We got 5 touchdowns.
If this continues, the punters won't even let her. They won't have enough plays. Moms are going to be mad, but that's the way these two teams play.
Yeah, plenty of enthusiasm on the Baylor sideline, but lots of life for SMU as well. Kickoff right to that sideline, and the return. Tackle inside the 20 at the 19. Another check in the studio with Adnan Verk.
All right, Flem, thank you very much. Over on ESPNU, it's Michigan State taking on Western Michigan. This is Darius Phillips getting a couple of blocks, and he is off to the races. Tying things up, however, Sparty has responded. Mondre London, good-looking freshman running back, with his second touchdown of the game. 13-7 right now for the Spartans. Once again, over on the U. Flem, back to you.
All right, thanks, Adnan. Here it's 21-14 Baylor. SMU with the ball back, down by a touchdown. They've answered twice already in this game. Can Matt Davis and company do it again? That fly sweep kind of action. Baylor read that one nicely, and it's a loss. It'll be second and long for SMU. Let's check in on the sideline with Allison Williams.
There's been some frustration for this Baylor defense, and that includes Sean Oakman, their defensive end, held out for a violation of team rules. But he's trying to help his teammates, talking to them a lot, telling a couple of them, go out, play like you're capable of, and just dominate. Also spend some time with KJ Smith, working on technique, helping him to really just set that edge.
Well, there is Sean Oakman. He is here. Thanks, Allison. Swing pass, caught, and Prescott Line, who's tough to bring down near that first down mark, and I think he got it. Here's what Allison was talking about, Coach. Sean Oakman.
Yeah, Sean feels bad that he broke team rules. He sees his defense not doing it well. But also on the first down, K.J. Smith strung it out, made a really good play, and he rushed the passer well there. So defensive guys got to step up that weren't starters for this game until last night.
Even without the pads on, you can see the physical freak that Sean Oakman is. 6'9", 275. SMU needs a timeout. And Matt Davis did not like the look of that first down play.
Timeout. SMU.
So he calls a timeout.
You got to compliment Joe Craddock and that offensive staff, very young staff, on what SMU's been able to do in this first quarter. And they've come out and made another first down. So now Baylor's saying, we've got to step up and make a play on defense, because everything Chad Morris told us he wanted to do, he's doing. Staying on the field, making third downs at a higher rate than 60% right now, because he said he normally had them at 45. But Joe Craddock is calling a good game and getting Matt Davis to play within himself, but do the things he needs to do with his feet to move the ball.
You can convert third downs when you never have third downs. They haven't needed many of them. They have moved the ball so nicely in this game.
Had to stay ahead of the chains.
That's it.
And that's what he's doing. Protecting the ball, stay ahead of the chains, and it gives you short second and third down opportunities.
And you can see the talent of Matt Davis. Nobody quite knew what to expect from him, but he's got a pedigree. Trying to dance his way forward, but he got stuffed. Trayvon Blanchard, the linebacker. They call that the bear position on this Baylor defense with the tackle. It's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker type, a rover.
Very good tackle. Key player because he can play in space. And with the up tempo, you don't get to substitute a lot. So he's out there, run or pass.
2nd and 9, play fake. They fake that fly sweep. Davis dancing around. Davis taken off, but he'll be tackled. Jamal Palmer, one of those guys that Sean Oakman was talking to. Nice play.
Jamal Palmer had the knee last year. He hurt his knee in the Texas football game. But here, they do a good job of keeping Matt in the pocket. He kept his contain, and when he came up inside, he felt off and tackled him with his inside shoulder, which was a key play.
So here's one of those third downs you were talking about, and it's 3rd and 10 for SMU.
Not where SMU wants to be. Now, do you run a draw? Do you run a screen? Do you try to get it off against the good pass rush front of Baylor?
Still time on the play clock. Davis takes the snap in shotgun. Good initial protection. Now Davis off and running across his body. What a throw. Complete. There is a flag, but caught by the freshman Xavier Castile. And we'll see what the penalty is. For now, it's a gain of 22 and a first down. Side judge doesn't have his hat on. And I don't know if that means that Castile went out of bounds and then was the first player to touch it.
Yes, the SMU coaches are motioning that they pushed him out of bounds, so they'll see that on replay.
The receiver ran out of bounds on his own and returned to catch the ball. Illegal touching, lost it down in the previous spot. 4th down.
Well, that is huge. And Chad Morris is arguing that his receiver was pushed out of bounds, which would mean no penalty. But the penalty called. And obviously that changes the whole situation. Loss of down. It's 4th down, and SMU will have to punt the ball away.
Well, and give Matt Davis credit. Again, pressure. Stands in the pocket. Then he escapes to his left. That's a really hard throw. Going to your left, throwing across your body for the first down. Big mistake by SMU.
So now the punter, true freshman Josh Williams. This is the first punt of his college career. Kind of a high snap, but he handles it. Lynx Hawthorne is back to receive. No fair catch signal. Dancing around, but hit and dropped at about the 37. Oh, he had a great first night of the college football season last night. Tonight we got a fascinating game already in Dallas. Tomorrow, full day of action, and maybe the headliner, number 20 Wisconsin, number 3 Alabama. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. A top 20 matchup right here in the Metroplex. 8 on ABC and watch ESPN, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week.
Yeah, we've got a great weekend of college football. It started last night. It was so much fun to watch those games. Tonight, has been a little bit of surprise for a lot of people, but it's a fun game to watch. And all of a sudden tomorrow we got it all day and all night.
And I think for the favorites, you know, you expect a certain performance. Week one doesn't always go exactly the way as you plan it. And for the Baylor offense, I think things are going fine here tonight. But you do wonder about that Alabama-Wisconsin game. That ball is dropped by Jay Lee.
So many question marks, more upsets in week one and in bowl games than at any other time. You've been off for so long. You haven't hit that much. Did you get them too tired? Did you not hit them enough? A lot of question marks.
Johnny Jefferson, the tailback, and Russell pressured immediately, but he tucks it and runs, and he's a strong kid, powering his way for a first down, a gain of 12. Penalty flag came in from behind. It's been a mostly penalty-free first quarter. Baylor signaling that one's against the Mustangs.
Van Malone calls.
Foul. Defense, number 10. Hitting a defensive player out of the play. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It was a very good blitz call by Van Malone. The player ran right by Seth Russell. So they've got to tackle. They've got to play the defense. They've got to play with their eyes. But once again, the athletic ability of Seth Russell made that a play.
And that penalty on Ajay Montez. 12-yard gain, 15-yard penalty on top of it. So here's Baylor inside the 40 at the 36, 1st and 10. Russell in the pocket, taking another deep shot. He's got Cannon open. Caught, touchdown.
Russell's pass complete to K.D. Cannon for the Baylor touchdown.
Blazing speed of K.D. Cannon. He ran right by the defense. 36 yards. It's 27-14.
And all of a sudden, a receiver running out of bounds, broke serve like tennis, and now Baylor has an opportunity to be up 14 in the first quarter. Sounds like they've struggled, and they're up 14 points.
Yeah,
I mean, they can strike so fast.
Yeah, 3 plays in this drive, 63 yards. It took them 24 seconds this time.
And they also got a backup defensive back in Montez in there, and they take advantage of him. Really good decision from the sideline, putting K.D. Cannon matched up with the young guy.
Well, Seth Russell, the new quarterback of this Baylor offense so far, so good for number 17.
He's had a great night so far. Everything that he's advertised, he's done. And you start looking at K.D. Cannon, you see his speed. He outran both players for SMU.
The sophomore from Mount Pleasant, Texas. You look at it with our Goodyear blimp high up above, right by the defensive backs. I mean, he is one of, it might be a stretch to say K.D. Cannon is the fastest player in college football. He's one of them, though.
He's in that group. I know that. He's from Mount Pleasant, Texas. We recruited him at Texas, and he was going to be a star from the first time we saw him. Seth Russell continues to do everything that they've said he would do. Making plays with his feet, making good throws, not turning the ball over, and in a position now where he's already scored 4 times in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you mentioned that penalty. SMU had converted a first down. They were into Baylor territory. The penalty negated that. They had to punt the ball away 3 plays later. It's a 2-touchdown lead for the Bears. And the kick return, Braden West will bring it back. He's got a nice burst across the 20 to the 22. Once again to the studio with Adnan.
All right, Flem, just updating what's happening over on ESPNU, Michigan State and Western Michigan. All those that love Sparty, that's because of Connor Cook. To Josiah Price, looking good here as the Spartans extend their advantage to 20-7. Flem and Mac, back to you guys.
And that's a pretty good Western Michigan team, but Michigan State, I mean, Ohio State takes most of the headlines of the Big Ten, and deservedly so. The defending national champions with all that talent coming back. Michigan State's going to be a really good team.
Michigan State beat this Baylor team the last game of the year for these 2 teams in the Cotton Bowl. They only lost to Ohio State and Oregon, so they had the tremendous year last year.
Well, now Matt Davis on the field once again with this SMU offense. They hand the ball off right side running and bouncing it, trying to get it outside. Xavier Jones for a short game. Mac, weren't you, maybe you weren't surprised how much Art Briles and company were still talking about that loss in the Cotton Bowl? I mean, Baylor has not gotten over that game.
I'm not surprised. People talk to me about the national championship game. I remember the one we lost more than the one we won. You remember the games you lose as a coach, and what could you have done differently to win those games?
Art told us he'll never get over that one. Well, so far it's been up and down for the Bears in their first game in what they hope will be a championship season. Here from Dallas, we've had tons of offense, just one quarter in the books. It's 28-14 Baylor. The second quarter high up above Ford Stadium here on the campus of SMU. Number 4 Baylor on the road in state with a 28-14 lead over SMU. Wild first quarter. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams. And SMU has the ball, second and long as the second quarter gets started. Their junior quarterback, Matt Davis, he's been impressive. Handoff. So is this kid, the true freshman running back, Xavier Jones, across the 25 to the 26.
Baylor had 24 plays in the first quarter. They're on track to have 96 for the game. They averaged 87.5 last year, and that's what they do. It looks like they've struggled some, but they're up 14 points in a very fast first quarter.
There you see the total play counter on both sides. I mean, for Baylor, time of possession has nothing to do with it.
Scored too fast.
3rd down and 6 for SMU. Davis looking to the sidelines. Still time on that play clock. Shotgun snap. Pressured. Chased by Billings. And there's the burst from Davis. He got to the first down mark.
Another play by Davis with his feet off schedule. They couldn't pick up the blitz. Baylor made a mistake. They lost contain, and Matt Davis gets to the outside with his speed and power. See him reverse field here. Once again, you're looking at number 56, KJ Smith. That's where Oakman would have been. A little more inexperienced there. He's got to keep him in the pocket.
No Sean Oakman tonight. Suspended, violation of team rules. Suspended for this game. He is here. We've shown him on the sideline. First down, SMU. Across the middle, nice delivery, and that big target trying to stay on balance. Cortland Sutton, who's a redshirt freshman, first play of scrimmage of SMU's season here tonight. He had the big pass for a touchdown. Now we got an offensive lineman hurting in the backfield. That is Daniel McCarty, who's the starting left guard, part of an experienced offensive line, which Chad Morris thinks can be a strength of this SMU team.
Yes, he's very proud of the job Dustin Fry has done to bring these guys from where they started until now, and they've played very, very well tonight. Dustin was a guy at Clemson. He played in the NFL. He was a graduate assistant there, and Chad brought some young coaches to SMU that have a lot of experience, and they're doing a tremendous job in this ball game. You've got to get 4 yards on first down and stay ahead of the chains. And now we're sitting here looking at 2nd and 5. So you've got your entire playbook for 2nd and 3rd down.
Well, one thing about SMU and Baylor, and we don't know if Daniel McCarty's going to be okay here, but SMU certainly does not have the kind of depth that the Bears have. And that's part of the rebuilding process for this Mustangs program. But injuries will hurt SMU. So they're going to get McCarty up here, but the officials have signaled that we will get a timeout, and that's a good sign for SMU that Daniel's walking off, putting some weight on his leg. So we'll step aside and come back. More second quarter action. 28-14 Baylor. We'll be back right after this. Baylor, 4th ranked team in the country, 28-14. That's their lead over SMU. 13:37 still to go in the second quarter. Matt Davis, who's been really impressive for SMU, is going to keep it running right side with a blocker in front. Davis, who is tough to tackle. He got right near that first down mark, and I think they'll give it to him.
Another great play call. They set up it looked like a screen to the left, and he has a quarterback power run to the right. He really fakes it like they're going to run the bubble screen. He's following his big back off to the right. Very good play call.
And they gave him forward progress, so he got it by plenty, by a couple yards out to the 44. Another first down for the Mustangs. Here comes some pass pressure. Davis dances through it. This time the tackle made. Pat Levels brought him down right near the line of scrimmage. He even lost a yard or two. Well, Matt Davis, who is a junior, began his career, big recruit in Texas, committed to Texas A&M, ran into a guy named Johnny Manziel there, transferred to a junior college. Now at SMU, played a little bit last year, Coach, but looks like a different guy right now.
He really does. There'd be a number of sacks tonight if it wasn't for Matt Davis. They gave up 48 sacks last year, one of the worst in the country, and tonight they're not sacking him because he's breaking tackles.
I mean, it's a good point. He is going to save a lot of those sacks all year long with the athletic ability we've seen, almost a pistol-like formation. And the handoff to Xavier Jones, but the Baylor defense read that well.
SMU doing a good job staying with their game plan, but now after no yards on first and second down, you've got that 3rd and 11, and that's not what their offense is designed to do. So, again, do you drop back? Does Matt make plays with his feet? Do you try to get a double screen? Do you try to get him on a draw? Let's see what Joe Craddock comes up with on 3rd and 11. Toughest play call probably for him of the night.
Look at those passing numbers, 6 for 6. And one long conversion, completion negated by penalties, going deep, but that will be an incompletion. But there is a penalty flag down.
That'll be defensive interference. It was a great call because, number one, they moved the quarterback, and he's been under too much pressure. So he stepped back like a drop back and then had the sprint to the left. Secondly, they had a crossing route outside where the 2 receivers changed up, and the Baylor defense grabbed him.
Holding defense, number 48, Senor Pelly, on that first down.
So once again, you've got Blanchard, who's kind of that nickel outside linebacker, and they've got him matched up on a faster receiver, so he knew he was beat. He was worried about the flat route with the 3rd and 10. He knew he was beat, so instead of giving up the touchdown, he grabs him to give up the 15.
And Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator, he doesn't like to see that, but he'd rather see the penalty than the long touchdown completion.
Absolutely.
So if you get beat, hold on, and we'll take our chances. Well, Prescott Line, who is a tough kid. His brother was a good running back, Zach, for this SMU program. Barreled ahead for 3 yards or so on first down. There is Phil Bennett, Art Briles' defensive coordinator.
Phil's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, and uniquely enough, he was the head coach at SMU, so it's pretty emotional for him to be back here.
He had a lot of thoughts about coming back here to campus, and he is rooting for this program. Not tonight, but he's hoping that SMU finds some new life. Screen pass set up, and set up nicely. That's the freshman Jones inside the 35.
Very well designed play. They're worried about pressure with Baylor, so now they fake a run. They look like they're going to move the quarterback on a pass and come back with a screen into the boundary.
12 yards on that completion. This kid could play. Xavier Jones from Spring, Texas. The true freshman having quite a debut.
They hired Claude Mathis, the legendary coach from DeSoto, to coach the running backs. And obviously in his first year, he signed Weston Jones, who are 2 great freshman backs.
Well, we got 2 Texas high school head coaches as the head coaches for these college programs. And who knows, maybe Claude can become another one of those. Line slipped as he tried to cut upfield, but he still got maybe 4 yards on the first down carry.
A lot of misdirection on this series. He hasn't had much yet, but the last 4 plays have had some area of misdirection involved with them to try to slow that Baylor pass rush down.
And Coach, don't you think, I mean, they like up tempo at SMU. That's what Chad Morris is all about, but they're okay with a deliberate drive, taking a little extra time.
Yeah.
They'll fake the handoff. Davis can't get away this time. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 2, maybe 3.
Very well played by Baylor. That's the zone read. You just couldn't recognize it because it didn't get far enough. But absolutely, Baylor is trying to stop them, but SMU is trying to kill clock and score. We used to call it score more but slower because they are playing defense with their offense. They don't want to have to put their defense back out on the field.
And that could mean that this would be 4-down territory for the Mustangs. On 3rd and 9. In the pocket. There's the pass. He's got his man. It's caught at the 10. Still on his feet. Cortland Sutton. End zone touchdown. His 2nd of the game. Big time from the freshman. 12 plays, 78 yards.
The bottom receiver in the play comes out and he runs a flag route to the corner, and Baylor cannot miss tackles like that and allow him to score. Once again, Sutton, big number 16. He started the game on the first play with a touchdown catch, another touchdown catch, but we continue to be impressed with both quarterbacks. But Matt Davis is keeping SMU in this game.
Extra point is good. The Mustangs, a one-win team from last year. This is a different SMU team this year. They are not going away. 28-21. That's the Baylor lead.
Football brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Experts around every corner to help you leave worry behind.
Well, the Mustangs are bouncing around on their sideline. They are hanging with the fourth-ranked team in the country, and Baylor has not been shy. That's the goal for the Bears, the national championship trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. It is here tonight in Dallas, and Art Briles said it to us. The goal is undefeated, and hoisting that at the end of the year. They've had conference championships now. They've been an excellent program here for the last several years under Coach Briles. He feels like this is the year to take the next step.
Chad Morris wanted to be deliberate. He wanted to make more than 60% of his third downs. They're 3 out of 4. And he also wanted to protect the football, and no turnovers yet from either team in this game. But it's really helping SMU hang in there.
Well, yeah, let's give credit to SMU, but so far it hasn't been a championship defensive effort from the fourth-ranked Bears, and the Mustangs offense has been impressive. Kickoff from SMU. And taken short, that's Johnny Jefferson across the 20 to about the 26-yard line. Bears will have the ball, but first, back to the studio and Adnan Virk.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Over on ESPN2, it's Bethany Maddox-Sands taking on Serena Williams, and Maddox-Sands takes the first set. However, Serena is 11-1 this year after losing the first set, and they're on serve right now in that second set over on the deuce. Dave, Mac, back to you guys.
All right, well, that would be an upset. This would be an enormous upset. SMU more than 5 touchdown underdogs, and here we are, not quite halfway through the second quarter, but it's a 7-point game. Russell with the play fake over the middle. That's Jay Lee to the 44-yard line. First down, Baylor. Seth Russell has 10 completions in this game. There is a penalty flag, so that completion could be negated.
Ineligible receiver, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
I mean, that's unusual on that type of play to have an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, it is, but what they're doing is, it was such a quick play, but obviously they felt like that he chased a defender too far down the field. That's a hard one to call.
2 good quarterbacking performances so far. Russell already over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns passing. Well, 3 touchdowns total, 1 of them rushing. Matt Davis on the other side has been excellent himself. Linwood empties the backfield on 1st and 15. Russell gets away. He'll throw. It's tipped up and somehow caught. And no, not caught. Ball hit the ground. Wow. We had all kinds of stuff going on that play. And in the end, it's just an incompletion, second down.
SMU showing more confidence on defense. They're flying around better. They're playing. They're not thinking. They're not worried about plays. But once again, Seth Russell shows his ability to stay away from the sack and have a chance to make a play downfield.
David Johnson, number 4, got a hand on that to tip it up and help force that incompletion. 2nd and 15, and ball's on the ground. Russell scrambles after it, and I do think he got it back. He did. That's a near turnover. We have not had a turnover yet.
Hot night. Ball's getting sweaty. Pressure's on Baylor right now, and every snap that SMU can keep pressure on Baylor, it gives them a chance to hang in this ball game till the end.
That was Corey Coleman who sort of knocked it out of Russell's hands himself. 3rd and 18, and here's a chance for the first stop for the SMU defense. They haven't had one yet. Only showing a rush of 3, so they're back in coverage. Russell down the middle, pass behind his intended target, Cannon incomplete. That's a 3 and out. It'll be the first punt of the game for Baylor.
Now Van Malone and the defensive staff at SMU can sell them on we're getting better. We've settled down. We understand the game plan by Baylor. We're getting more pressure. You're changing up your defense. You're stemming more. You confused Seth Russell on that series, so that gives us a chance to grow from here.
There's the young coordinator, Van Malone, defensive backs coach at Oklahoma State. Now the coordinator here at SMU. And you said it early, Coach. The offense give the Mustangs some energy, and maybe that defense at some point could start to make a stop or two. And they have their first stop. The punt, fair catch signal, but the ball does bounce. And now SMU smartly will just get away. Baylor's going to let it roll all the way inside on this field turf, inside the 30 at about the 29. So a timeout here in Dallas. SMU getting the ball back, down just 7. Ways the college season starts when we get our first college game day. Yeah, tomorrow 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, also available on Watch ESPN. Tom Rinaldi is going to make the case for both Cardale Jones and J.D. Barrett. How about a great story, and it will amaze you. The reunion, the homecoming for Alabama's kicker Adam Griffith, and a live performance from Brad Paisley over in Fort Worth. 9 a.m. it all gets started. College game day. Reese and the guys are back for another year. Can't wait for that.
Love college game day. It gets everything exciting. And Saturday morning as a coach, I tried to watch it as much as I could.
Well, that's cool. Handoff on first down, and there's Braden West breaking tackles. West from behind. So we've seen a lot of Xavier Jones. Now we see the other true freshman running back. And I think these students who are here are going, wait a minute. Can we actually beat the 4th-ranked team in the country?
You can feel the confidence growing after every play. It's fun to watch. These young backs are good. They're fast. They've got good vision, and they're running with power.
20 yards on the ground right near midfield at the SMU 49. Davis with Jones in the backfield now. He shuffles over to that right side. Almost an option style play, but there's Billings. Wow. The big guy, Andrew Billings, right up the middle, and he stuffed him.
When things aren't going well and momentum is turning, you got to have a big play guy to step up. And Billings has done that. They said they had to double team him throughout the ball game, and all of a sudden we're starting to look at Billings, and Billings is one of the best players in the country. He runs laterally there and does a really good job and makes that play.
It's 2nd and 14, loss of 4. Davis back to pass. He's going to have to run again. One-on-one. That is never a good matchup for Baylor. It just isn't. Inside Baylor territory to about the 48-yard line.
Because of the athletic ability of the quarterback, protection breaks down. One of those 48 sacks from last year. But he runs and takes a 2nd and 13 and turns it into 3rd and 2.
And Trayvon Blanchard was there to make a play and keep that as a shorter gain. But out in the open field against this guy, your chances of bringing him down are not great.
He's really hard to tackle in space. Very strong from his waist down.
3rd and 1. Davis almost looking for a quick pitch out to the left side. Instead, he saw the opening. First down, SMU. Now, that's a good decision. And it's the Baylor defender who gets up slowly, not Matt Davis.
They felt like Matt Davis needed to make good decisions in this game and not try to win the game with himself. And right now, he's doing everything perfect to give his team a chance to hang in this ball game.
Look of concern for Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator. Look of confidence for Chad Morris, the head coach of SMU.
And don't think players aren't watching those coaches.
5 minutes to go in the first half. SMU on the move again. A touchdown will tie this game. That one left flat, caught. Short gain though by Kevin Thomas. More on SMU on the sideline with Allison Williams.
Guys, this is probably as loose and energetic as I have seen a sideline be for SMU. And it's been like that from the beginning. Guys are jumping around, they're dancing, they're having fun. Players told us yesterday there's a different buzz around this team since Chad Morris took over. You can see it here tonight.
You can see it on the sideline. You absolutely can see it out on the field. They'll give the ball to West. Left side running inside the 35. to set up another third down. And we've mentioned it already several times in this first half, Coach. Is it 4-down territory?
Absolutely. And you'd like to use this last 4 minutes and 20 seconds because you don't want Baylor getting the ball again. And you want to come out and make sure that you try to score, have a tie game at halftime, and then you get the ball to start the third quarter.
Third downs, they did have one that wasn't converted because of penalty. So I think officially 4 of 5 still. They have converted them at a beautiful clip. It's 3rd and 6 here. Receiver was open, but I think he slipped coming out of his cut. Raheem Malone incomplete to set up 4th down.
Here's a big decision for Chad Morris because you don't want to give Baylor the ball at the 35-yard line. You're out of field goal range. So go ahead and try to make it on 4th and 5.
First incompletion. You said it. It's absolutely 4-down territory, and here it is. You're 5 touchdown underdogs. You're not punting the ball from this part of the field.
And this is all to send a message to his team and his fans and his administration that this is going to be an aggressive football team. A confident football team and an aggressive football team.
Big play, 4th and 6. Under 4 minutes to go, first half. In the pocket. The throw is intercepted. Tipped up and intercepted. Well, Baylor comes up with a defensive stand. It's Tayon Sells who picked it off. SMU gives the ball back. Well, he took a shot on 4th down. He can't just throw the ball away. But the interception means Baylor will get the ball back. When we come back to Dallas, still very much in this game, down by a touchdown. Coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether you drive 100 yards or 100 miles, choose Goodyear tires for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. Just really a few blocks away here on campus, the George W. Bush Presidential Center, the Presidential Library.
Number 4, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Beautiful spot here at SMU. We have a penalty as Baylor gets the ball back before they run a play, a 5-yard penalty against the Bears.
And I would say everybody needs to try to visit the Presidential Center and Library because it is one of the best in the country. I spent a couple hours there one day. It's a trip that you'll never, ever forget.
Well, this game is becoming more and more unforgettable as we go along. We've got 3:51 to go until halftime. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams with you. That pass caught by Coleman, although he was juggling the ball. They say it is a completion into SMU territory. Corey Coleman has been the big play guy. That's another 34 yards for him.
When you're struggling some, your big play guys have to come up and make plays. Did he have possession? Foot's down.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
That's really close. I would think we'd probably see a replay here.
Going on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Well, what do you think, Coach? I mean, to me, I don't think he had full control with a foot down in bounds.
I don't think he has got control either. And now Kendall Briles has the pressure to get Seth Russell in the right play, and he has to step up. They come back with what they started, and that's a deep throw to Corey Coleman. And it's very, very close, but inches make a difference in a ball game. Baylor really needs to score here before the half, get a 14-point swing because SMU gets the ball to start the second half, and they have not been stopping SMU consistently.
That was a beautiful throw by Russell. Corey Coleman, though, just could not quite secure it. And I think that one's going to be overturned. I think this will be coming back.
Well, the offensive game plan for SMU's working. That's only the fourth play. There's -3 yards by Baylor in the second quarter after having 273 yards in the first quarter. So what we thought, SMU is playing defense with their offense because they're trying to keep their offense on the field and make sure those fast Baylor guys are over there watching the game.
It's a good point you make. They've done a remarkable job of it. It's hard to imagine the way Baylor has moved the ball, but the 1 3 and out, that's their only possession until now of this second quarter. And if this call goes the way we think it will, it's going to be second down and long for the Bears.
And when your best guys are on the bench, they get frustrated, they get a little stiff. It's hard to get that momentum back. So this is a key series for Baylor to get the momentum back. They've already had a 5-yard penalty, and now they've got a play that's in question.
After further review, the receiver did not maintain possession as he went out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass. The ball be placed back at the Baylor 27-yard line on the right hash. It'll be second down at 15.
Very good call by the officials. He obviously was juggling the ball, and again, that's why I love instant replay. Took a couple of minutes there to get it right. We only want the plays to be called right, and good job by the officials.
Well, that's what you're talking about. The total yardage is a lot closer than we thought it would be. The score is closer than we thought it would be. And the yardage for Baylor in the second quarter, mostly because they have not had the ball. At 2nd and 15, they went backwards on that one drive previously. Now hand it off, and Shock Linwood, and he gets positive yardage, but not a lot of it. And you noticed it last time Baylor had the ball. The SMU defense has a little more pep, a little more life. Third down coming for the Bears.
Playing a lot more confidence. Now they've changed their personnel for third down and long. Baylor really needs to keep the drive going here and try to take something in for the first to score before the half.
So this is a pretty big play. And I think Baylor moved early. Flag thrown.
This will be no play, illegal motion on Baylor. So you're going to end up with a third down and 16.
Offense.
Ball start.
Number 8. 5-drop penalty. Third down.
I think he said number 8. The freshman wide receiver Ishmael Zamora, who they think has a chance to be next in line. Big time playmaker on the outside. But that penalty is a costly one.
Always frustrates coaches when you said, look at the ball. You don't have to hear anything. Wait until the ball moves till you move. And a freshman receiver would make that mistake.
Yeah, frustrating enough that he comes out of the game for this 3rd and 16.
And you have to be smart and not turn the ball over here either, Dave.
Play fake. Russell downfield. Tipped up. It is a turnover. Interception coming back the other way. Inside the 25, inside the 20. Darian Richardson with a flag at the end of the play. And how about SMU?
Great play by the SMU defense. A lot more confidence, but that play was because of the situation. The 2 penalties and the bobble ball put them in third down and long situations. You never want to be third down and long, and especially in your end.
Illegal block below the waist. Intercepting team. Number 15. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. First down, SMU.
So Jordan Wyatt, the fellow safety, trying to block for his teammate. Well, the ball tipped up, I think,
the inside receiver. It's tipped. Really good play by the safety, and he runs it back. You've got to stay up. It cost him 15 yards. But number 15 cannot block low at all. He even nearly clipped him and got behind. He cost his team 15 yards, and that's critical at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. There's hardly any contact there. Didn't really impact the play, but he did.
You're proud of the effort. Stay up. Stay up. Don't block low on returns.
Still, what an opportunity for SMU. 2:38 to go until halftime to get the ball back. And a ball on the ground. Davis will fall on it. But that's a loss of nearly 5 yards on first down for the Mustangs.
SMU would love to take this 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Use the whole clock. Don't give Baylor the ball back, and they only get 2 series in the second quarter. But they need to get points here. And if they can even get 3 here and then get the ball to start the third quarter, it could be a 10-point swing.
Well, I think you're right. We've been talking about how SMU gambling, going for it on fourth down. Maybe the situation changes here. At the end of the half, they do get the ball to start the third quarter. SMU does. On 2nd and long, going deep for the end zone. It is incomplete. Well, Cortland Sutton, who's been the big play guy, he had a step there. Pass just a little bit too strong. That stops the clock with 1:53 to go and sets up 3rd and 15.
Again, you got to be smart on third down. If you're Joe Craddock here, screens, draws, underneath routes, moving the quarterback, but you really don't want to have the Baylor bunch come after you and blitz and get a big sack here, because it takes you out of any opportunities. If they can get 10 yards here, they'll be in field goal range and might kick the field goal here instead of going for fourth down.
And Baylor's got all 3 of those timeouts. I'm sure they're itching to use one if they can get a stop. Couple play fakes. They set up that screen pass, and it's complete. The freshman, Jones, still on his feet, right near the marker. A big gain on the screen play. And I think he's short. They're winding the clock. They spotted him back at about the 24-yard line. He's short by a yard. And SMU, they're going hurry up here on 4th and 1.
If you're one or less, you go for this because you've got a great opportunity to make it.
They are going for it. Handoff. It is a first down. Now the clock will stop. 1:23. What a big pickup on the screen play to set up 4th and short. And there's Chad Morris going for it again.
Hands it to the big man up inside. He should have been tackled in the backfield, but he's a big, powerful runner. He's a confident player on their team, a leader, been around a long time. Moves the ball forward for the first down.
So they get the ball spotted. Now the clock winds again. Tight end in motion. That's Gaines. They'll hand it off. Jones, right side, cuts it up the middle. Hit hard by Avion Edwards, who's made some nice plays for the Baylor defense in this first half.
SMU.
And SMU will take a timeout now with 56 seconds to go until halftime, trying to get in the end zone and tie this game. But while we have just a quick moment, let's toss it back to studio and Adnan Vert.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Coming up in the BMW halftime report, it's a case of London calling as Michigan State right now behind a freshman running back has the lead over on ESPNU. Plus, since it's day 2 of the college football season, never too early to start talking about our playoff picks. Who's in? Danny Canal, Joey Galloway will share their thoughts. Plus, Serena Williams right now struggling at the U.S. Open. Highlights of what's happening over on ESPN2 as well. Dave, back to you.
All right, Adnan, thanks. We'll look forward to that from you and Danny and Joey at halftime of that playoff picture. Baylor supposed to be a part of it, and they likely will still be a part of it. But this is a surprise. And now SMU, coach, 56 seconds on the clock. They have a timeout at 2nd and 6. What's the thought process for Chad Morris here at the end of the half?
Clock control is very, very important. They've got one timeout left. They'd like to use all this clock and score at the end.
The quarterback toward the corner of the end zone. A lot of contact. Ball tipped up. Here comes a penalty flag. Cortland Sutton actually caught it out of bounds. Well out of bounds. Ryan Reed in coverage. And he's arguing, but I think this one's going against him.
It's a great call on first down.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 9. Automatic. First down.
If you look at the top receiver, he's their best receiver. He's a 6'4" receiver. You're not using much clock. You throw the fade because they're in bump man coverage. They're up tight. They're grabbing him. They're pulling him. Good call by the official. Sutton did a really good job of trying to get inside to get up and reach the ball.
49 seconds to go. SMU knocking on the door, trying to tie this game. What a first half. Handoff line, picking his way forward, but dropped at the 3.
46 seconds is plenty of time. You don't have to panic.
We will get a clock stoppage here. A timeout SMU. They've got 43 seconds, 3 yards away from tying this game. We'll be back. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams here in Dallas. Number 4 team on the road being tested at SMU. 43 seconds to go. First half with the ball. 2nd and goal. They called the timeout, so they are out of timeouts now. Their junior quarterback, Matt Davis, who has played so well, going to keep it. And Davis stays on his feet. Fights back to the line of scrimmage. They have plenty of time, but they can't take too much time here.
Got to get up and go. Hand the ball to the official. Get lined up quickly. Get your play call because the clock is clicking quickly.
And this, whether this is 4th down territory or not, we don't know. But it's 3rd and goal here. Clock continues to roll. Davis looking for the end zone. Keeping it. Davis is going to be dropped, and now the time is definitely an issue. They used that last timeout. They got to go. Clock is rolling, and they're going to try to send the field goal team out. That's not going to work. So that a first half that went so well for SMU, that was not handled well.
No, you've got to throw the ball away. You've got to keep the opportunity to run on 4th down.
How did we not get points out of that one is what SMU is thinking. They'll get the ball to start the second half. It's halftime now. Baylor leading by a touchdown.
It's kickoff week.
Oh, what a half. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Jimmy John's as a part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. And we're just about ready to kick off the second half with the fourth-ranked team of the country, Baylor, leading 28-21. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown back here at SMU. And, Coach, man, I mean, overwhelmingly positive for the Mustangs. They were a one-win team last year, huge underdogs tonight against Baylor. So almost everything went well from their perspective. But what happened at the end of the first half? SMU had the ball inside the 5, but they got no points out of it.
Well, Coach Morris will not be happy with that clock management. When they changed the rule to the 10-second runoff, Dave, I always kept one in my pocket because I felt like you had 2 timeouts that you could use. You had to save the one till the end. Matt Davis still should have thrown the ball away and killed the clock. They still had a chance for 3, but they lost a great opportunity there with a new staff, and I'm sure they're kicking themselves for that. But now they've got to forget it, come back out, and get the momentum back they had. I think Baylor ran 6 plays the second quarter, 1 positive yard, and that's it.
They had 1 yard of offense, Baylor did, in the second quarter. So SMU was able to control the game after the Baylor offense was so powerful in that first quarter. And Chad Morris will get the ball to start the second half. So maybe a chance to forget about the way that end of half sequence was frankly botched by the Mustangs. And for Baylor, maybe a chance to regroup at halftime.
It is. They took complete momentum away from Baylor. They kept the football. They had a lot of positive things happen. Now, SMU has to get a drive and try to get some points and get it back to even.
So SMU will get the ball back for a word on what Chad Morris had to say. Let's go down to Allison Williams.
Guys, overall, Chad Morris very pleased with the way his team played. As you guys mentioned, not happy with the way the half ended, and he took ownership of that there. He said, it's my fault. I should have done a better job of coaching his guys. The thing he's most satisfied with, though, the play of his quarterback, Matt Davis. He said he's just keeping plays alive. He's moving the chains. Done a really nice job of managing the game for the Mustangs.
He should be happy. I mean, Matt Davis should have thrown the ball away. Other than that, maybe it wasn't a flawless half, but it was close to it.
This game plan has worked exactly like the SMU staff wanted it to this point.
So let's see how long can the big underdog Mustangs hang in there. First play, and a nice gain of 5 yards. That freshman tailback, Xavier Jones, he has been a part of the story, the young talent at the skill positions for the Mustangs.
Staying ahead of the chains, going a little bit quicker now since they've gotten more confidence.
This time, a keeper for Davis. He'll get to the first down mark. Pushed out of bounds right at the 35.
Well, and Baylor had a person in position to make that tackle. Matt Davis was faster. He took a poor angle, and Matt outran him for the first down. So 2 plays, and it keeps going like it ended. First down, SMU.
124 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. The 1 interception was on a 4th down play, so it wasn't even a real big mistake by Davis. And then the 69 yards on the ground. He gives it this time. Jones makes that first move to get positive yardage. Got about 3.
They're going back to the same plan, run the football, try to kill the clock, keep Baylor's defense on the field. Even though they've got depth, they can get tired in this heat. But more importantly, keep Seth Russell and those fast receivers on the sideline.
And it was a nice spot. They gave him 4 yards on that first down carry. So Xavier Jones stays in the backfield alongside Matt Davis, who will give it to Jones. Trying to get to that edge. He does. That burst of speed from the freshman right to the 45. Another SMU first down to the 46.
The coaches told us Jones would be a good player. They've run the ball every time this time. They've got a sweep toward the boundary, short side. Again, really good in speed and quickness, a good awareness of the boundary, stayed in bounds, 2 first downs.
And Chad Morris, his words to us were, we got lucky with these 2 freshman running backs, Xavier Jones, Braden West. That was part of its evaluation, but they have opened eyes. Davis, nowhere to go. Somehow he's going to pick his way back to the line of scrimmage. So that could have been a loss of 4, maybe 5 yards. Instead, no gain.
And I don't think that SMU coaches got lucky with those two backs. I think it's Chad Morris. It's great evaluation. It's listening to the high school coaches in the state of Texas, and they call and say, Coach, I got me one. You need to come and get it, because the high school coaches are pulling for both of these guys.
They are. They're both one of them. Former Texas high school coaches who are on the big stage now. First possession of the second half. SMU, even with the up-tempo offense, being deliberate. 2nd and 10. With time, now the pocket breaks down. Davis takes off to midfield, a yard inside Baylor territory. He did take a big hit at the end of that run from number 92, Jamal Palmer.
But Matt Davis turns what would have been a sack last year into a 5-yard gain, and now you're back to normal down in distance. You're 3rd down and 5. You're across the 50. So you've got 2 opportunities here if you want to stay with your 4-down thoughts.
We're 1 half into the season. I think it's safe to say SMU is not going to lead the country in sacks allowed this year.
Absolutely not. As long as Ford stays healthy, they're not.
As long as Davis is back there. 3rd and 5, big play early in the 3rd quarter. Davis throws, and that one is well over his target, incomplete. So not that time on 3rd down, and in this part of the field you would figure that we may see the punt team.
Yes, they'll punt the ball. They want to get Baylor backed up. They've stopped Baylor the last 2 series, and they've got to try to get Baylor backed up in their end of the field again, get a short punt and try to get a short field.
Only the 2nd punt of the game for the true freshman, Josh Williams. That's Lynx Hawthorne back at about the 10.
The last 5 minutes of the half are critical. That didn't go well for SMU. The first 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter are critical. And so far, SMU got a good start, but short punt, and now they're giving Baylor better field position.
Yeah, so that's not a great one. Bears offense back on the field, up 7 when we come back to Dallas. In this state of Texas, pulling for one of their own. Chad Morris, 3 high school championships in this state before beginning his college coaching career, and both he and Art Briles, Mac Brown, traveled this state through the high school ranks.
These 2 guys are very, very popular with the high school coaches in this state, and it does make a difference. Most of the Baylor players are from Texas. You look at what Chad did this year, signed 22 kids, all from this state.
And they even shared a stop, Stephenville High School, along the way. Art Briles before Chad Morris went there. Shock Linwood with the carry as the Baylor offense tries to get it going now here in the 3rd quarter. A much closer game than we expected, than everybody expected. And you do wonder if some pressure starts to build on Baylor. Penalty flag down. That pass complete to Corey Coleman, who's had a big game so far, but we'll see if that play stands.
Every tick on that clock from this point forth puts more pressure on Baylor. They're supposed to win by 35 points. There's 11 minutes and 14 seconds left, and every time a second ticks off and the score is still close, it just puts pressure on the big boy, because Baylor has done it before and they're supposed to be there.
That penalty, an illegal formation penalty against the Bears, so that negates the completion. 5 yards backwards. It's 2nd and long.
And here's where Seth Russell earns his pay. He's their quarterback. He's the guy that's got to take over. He's got to get plays. They haven't had momentum the last 2 drives. They're struggling on this one. He's got to get the ball downfield for a completion.
He took a shot, got hit, and then the ball was batted down at the line of scrimmage. My goodness.
That was a great play call. They had the underneath route to the tight end. Big guy inside, gets his hands up and makes a play just because of effort. But you can see number 41 is going to be wide open, and that's going to be a huge play down inside. So right now, nothing is going right. Armstead was open. The ball is tipped, nearly intercepted. Baylor needs to make a play. They're back on 3rd and 12. Can't throw the interception here.
Seth Russell, play fake, pressured immediately. And here's a holding call. Russell on the move. Penalty flag is down. Russell running, throwing, incomplete. No, he extended that play, but it would not have mattered, I don't think. This flag should be going against Baylor. What will be the case now? They'll decline the penalty and force Baylor to punt.
Yeah.
Holding offense, number 41. The penalty is declined. Fourth down.
What's the SMU kids coming off from the bench? Their bench is excited. The third straight 3 and out that they've got against Baylor. Now the Baylor defense has to step up, still get the stop, but they've got to give Seth Russell time to get there. Great pass rush by Lawler. He was all over him. He's their best pass rusher. Big play guys step up when it matters. Lawler made the play there.
Well, Baylor's offense is a little out of whack now after their tremendous start to this game. Drew Gallitz, the punter, end over end. That one bounces out of bounds around the 30-yard line. SMU gets the ball back. Well, championship hopes for a second straight year. The Buckeyes beginning their title defense. Their only loss last year was to Virginia Tech. Now they go to Blacksburg. College football primetime presented by Capital One. #1 Ohio State against the Hokies Monday at 8 on ESPN, and watch ESPN.
Yeah, we got a great weekend coming up. You go back to the big matchup between Virginia Tech and Ohio State, maybe the most celebrated game ever to be played in Blacksburg, Virginia. Rematch of last year's upset should be fun.
And Ohio State with their quarterback, it's maybe too much to call it a problem. They got a lot of good choices. Some of those other programs, that is a theme here in the first weeks. Power programs breaking in new quarterbacks. Here's Andrew Billings breaking into the backfield, and a tackle for the loss right through the line of scrimmage to bring down the freshman Braden West.
Again, your older guys, your guys that make a difference, your leaders have to step up right now. 2 of their best leaders are on the bench. So Billings steps up. He's got them in second and long. Who else is going to step up on the Baylor defense when the game's on the line?
All-American defensive end Sean Oakman, starting safety Orion Stewart, both suspended, violation of team rules. Davis scrambling again. Man, has he been impressive on the run. He tripped himself up there, I think, and falls forward to the 39-yard line, a yard short of a first down.
Matt Davis has been so impressive because, again, great pressure up front by Baylor, but they lose contain. The defensive end, number 92, goes inside. He loses contain, and they cannot allow that guy to run up inside. Jamal Palmer has to stay outside and contain.
So 3rd and 1, Davis hands the ball off. Prescott line, powering forward, reaching forward, and I'm not sure. Close. Yeah, he got it. They gave him the spot right on the line. That's a first down.
And once again, if that was 4th and inches, Chad Morris goes for it because you got to make 4th and inches to beat a top 5 football team.
Even in this part of the field.
Absolutely. That clock is ticking, 9:26. Chad's told them, you get in the 4th quarter with a chance to win, pressure goes to the other team. That's what he's trying to get through this 9:18 and get it with another touchdown.
Hand off on first down, nowhere to go, Xavier Jones. So that defensive line of Baylor starting to get more penetration. That was Jamal Palmer. Had the mistake a couple plays ago. Did a very good job there.
Yeah, they're feeling a little bit of sense of urgency here. Let's get us a stop. We've got to step up and help our offense. Their offense scores so much that the Baylor defense usually doesn't have to make the stop. And right now, they need to change the momentum in this game.
2nd and 12 for Matt Davis and company. Swings one out. That's Jones along the right sideline. Cut it middle, still going. Out to the 47-yard line. The freshman Xavier Jones sets up 3rd and short.
You've got it back to 3rd and 2. SMU's not in a big hurry, but now you've got your whole playbook. You can run it inside, you can run it outside, you can throw it deep, you can throw a screen. You've given your offensive coordinator a chance to get his best play, and the defense has to stay pretty much bland.
Baylor showing some pressure with Grant Campbell up the middle. Now penalty flag.
Huge mistake.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
3rd down and 7 makes it a completely different situation than 3rd and 2. Tackle can't move in that situation and hurt his team.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd false start penalty against Chauncey Briggs, who is one of their leaders up front, and it's an experienced offensive line. Well, you're right, that changes the call dramatically. 3rd and 7 now. Baylor brought a lot of fans, trying to get those fans to make some noise on 3rd down. Davis steps up. Davis gets away from Billings, still on his feet. Tough running, but short. And this will be one of those decisions for Chad Morris at the 48-yard line.
Yes, Chad punts here simply because it's a long 2, and his defense is playing lights out right now, and Baylor hasn't moved the ball their last 3 series.
And that would not be good news for SMU. His shoe comes off. Matt Davis, and maybe a cramp. The way they're using that foot on the left leg, that would be the best case scenario probably for SMU. So we're going to have a timeout here. We'll see if we can see if anything happened to Matt Davis, the quarterback of SMU. We'll be back after this. On ESPN here from Dallas, Texas on a beautiful summer-like Friday night. And SMU out of the American, really challenging one of the Big 12's powers, number 4 ranked Baylor. There's the SMU quarterback, Matt Davis, is gingerly walking toward the locker room. So we'll try to get an update on that. That would be huge if SMU is without the guy who's been their star in this game. SMU on 4th and 2 near midfield. And maybe that helps make the decision a little easier, Coach, not to go for it, to punt the ball away.
Absolutely. You're not going to put a new quarterback in on 4th and 2 at this stage of the game.
Much better punt, and it dies inside the 5. Beautiful job by Josh Williams, who sort of half shanked one his previous punt. This time he and SMU, they pin Baylor inside the 3-yard line.
Right now, everything's going SMU's way. They feel good. 7:03 left in the third. Baylor has got to get their offense rolling. And I can promise you, the offensive coaches are saying, you pick it up. Your turn. Who's going to be my guy? Who's going to make the play? And we know how fast Baylor can score, but they've got to get it rolling again. You lose momentum, sometimes it's hard to get it back, especially on the road in the opener.
Still 91 degrees, but lots of SMU students and fans are here for their opening game under their brand new head coach, Chad Morris. Number 4 ranked team in the country, Baylor. 5 touchdown favorites, and look at how this game has turned after the quick start for the high-flying Bears. 4 touchdowns, 288 yards on their first 4 drives. Minus 11 yards on their last 3. Handoff, that's chafing up the middle, and some breathing room near the first down across the 10 to about the 11.
And one thing we have to remember, Baylor's ahead. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 point, 7 points, or 35 points. They need to win this game and get out of here.
Chafin takes the handoff, and not a lot of room, but he will get the first down. That, Coach, and this is hard to believe, is Baylor's first down since the first quarter.
We heard Art Briles say you take your running game on the road. They've had some penalties. They're trying to line up and be physical and make this a 14-point game with this long drive.
Play fake, Russell in the pocket. Gonna go deep. He's got his man, KD Cannon, open, and he catches it. Cannon inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. The first big play in a while.
Doesn't take Baylor long to strike. KD Cannon's his deep guy. Seth Russell turns it loose. He's wide open behind the secondary at SMU. Big play, and all of a sudden now momentum's changed because they're backed way up, and now they're at about the 28-yard line going in.
56-yard pass play. Russell, quick snap. He's going toward the end zone. Coleman, what a catch! And incomplete. He's saying he caught it. He says he has it, but ruled incomplete. It'll be second down. I thought Corey Coleman had it. And that foot was out of bounds. Now he's arguing that the elbow was inbounds and touch first. That's a close one. But Baylor, though, not waiting around, so they won't review it. They want to snap the ball. That's interesting. I mean, you would have thought that the Bears maybe would have taken a little extra time. Now a flag on the far side, just to let the officials upstairs maybe take an extra look, see if they wanted to review that one, because that was close.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 9, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Man, I do not get that. Now you compound it with the 15-yard penalty. Huge mistake by KD Cannon.
Yeah, you have to be really careful and not get frustrated when things aren't going like you want them to. And KD's a young player. He's used to catching a bunch of balls in the game, and it's been easy. It's been a little frustrating tonight. So Coach Briles will be all over KD because now he's put them back in a second down and 22. Just because of frustration. Can't do it. You got to keep your composure. get the game turned back in your direction.
2nd and 23 for the Bears. They'll swing it out to Chafin, who's got room in front. Chafin, that room sort of disappeared there. Nice play by the defensive back to upend the big guy. Chafin, there's Cannon with his helmet off. It'll be 3rd down and long for Baylor.
3rd down and 16. Now you can take the three-pointer. You need a two-score game here. So they can try to get 10 and get inside that 30 and feel pretty good about a 10-point lead with 4:57 left in the 3rd.
Well, 3rd and 18, and they will hand the ball off to Chafin. Straight ahead running. And the big guy inside the 20 lowered the shoulders and got the 1st down.
Smart call, conservative call, trying to get your 10, and all of a sudden they get 17. 1st down.
Well, now flags fly as Baylor got the snap off quickly, but too quickly apparently.
False start. Offense. Number 61. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Big Jarrell Broxton, 325-pound senior, the right guard.
One thing you'll see with the Baylor staff, they've been around long enough, they've won enough games, they feel like they're taking this game back in their control, so they're not going to scream and grab these kids on the sideline. They're going to say focus.
Russell off the play fake, complete. That's Jay Lee along the sideline. He stayed in bounds and gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Baylor.
You're running the ball. You make all the SMU defensive players come up toward the line of scrimmage. You get a one-on-one with your steady, older, experienced receiver in Jay Lee. Throw it outside. He breaks the tackle, and all of a sudden now we've been talking about SMU. Baylor's back up by 14 with 4:13 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, that was a very big drive. Remember, it started back inside the 5-yard line. Baylor was pinned deep. 97 yards in 8 plays, 2 minutes and 50 seconds with the extra point coming.
Started with a running game, had the big throw deep. Running game saved them on 3rd and 17. A quick stop route out to Jay Lee for the touchdown. Good mixture of play calls by Kendall Browse on that drive.
Callahan kick is up and good. It's 35-21, and that felt huge, Mac.
Well, it does feel huge. You got to give credit to an older, confident team as they sit there and throw the stop route outside to an older, experienced player. Jay Lee turns up. Great job keeping his feet in bounds. Touchdown. Now you got a 35-21 game.
Football, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Well, from Dallas, Baylor has been challenged. 35-21 is the score. The 4th-ranked team in the country with a 97-yard drive to pad their lead. 4:13 still to go, 3rd quarter. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams with you on this Friday night. And look who's back on the sideline, number 4, Matt Davis. So that's a bit of good news in a point of this game where things could get wobbly for the big underdog Mustangs. The kickoff is a touchback. And before we talk about Davis, back to the studio and Adnan Virg.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. An update on what's happening over on ESPNU. This would be Michigan State against Western Michigan, and quite the debut for Connor Cook. He has looked good. That's DeAnthony Arnett, 21 yards to the touchdown. Cook's got 2 TDs and over 200 yards passing, 34-10. It is all Sparty. And coming up next, it's Washington taking on Boise State, about 50 minutes away from kickoff. A great doubleheader just for you. Dave, back to you.
Fascinating game. Washington on the road against a good Broncos team. Chris Peterson back home to Boise State. But here at SMU, and that is not Matt Davis. The Davis came out of the locker room. That's Daryl Colbert, the redshirt freshman, and he is a dynamic runner, but he's the backup quarterback, so we'll see if Davis can get back in this game.
Yeah, his mindset is very much like Matt Davis, so they feel like they can put him in and run the same offensive plays. Tremendous amount of pressure off him coming in cold and trying to make some first downs till Matt can go back in the game.
Second down and 7, and they will get to the line quickly, then wait for the call from the sideline. All the while, the starter trying to get ready to get back in the game. Second and 7. A lot of time. He's going to heave it deep. His guy is out there. It is caught. No! Incomplete. Sutton had it in one arm and tried to cradle it and goes to the turf and lost the ball.
Give Joe credit and Chad Morris credit. A guy that hadn't thrown any all night. He's been cold. He's not a passer, and he goes out and throws a tremendous ball to Sutton that's nearly caught to get their momentum back. Great play call. Nearly a super catch.
Turned into a pretty good play there by Xavier Howard, the cornerback, to make sure that was not complete.
Now you've got the younger guy in there in a throwing situation on 3rd and 7 with a lot of pressure from the Baylor defense. Got to be smart here.
Play clock down to 5. Down to 3. They get the play off, and he's going to keep it out into the open. Hurdles over a tackler and got close. This again will be dependent on the spot. Some nice athleticism from Daryl Colbert there. And he got it. First down.
Once again, great effort by the new young quarterback coming in. Good play call. They didn't want to throw the ball in the air, but they got the quarterback draw and put him in a position to know where that chain was and get the first down.
And Coach, I think they are going to look at this one upstairs and see if the spot on the field was correct. And it's an important play here, so they're going to take a look. We'll step aside and come back. Baylor, 4th-ranked team of the country, leading 35-21. Go third quarter here in Dallas, 35-21. That's the score. Baylor with the lead. There's number 4, Matt Davis, who had to leave this game what looked like cramps to us. We have not gotten official word on that. But meanwhile, his backup, Daryl Colbert, made a nice play, got real close. They gave him a first down, but they are reviewing upstairs the spot of the ball to try to see if the spot was correct. And, Coach, let's see if we look at it. What do we think?
Smart run, breaks the tackle. It's all about the spot. Falls right down on the line, and it's all in the official's hands.
So is there enough video evidence there to change the spot on the field? I mean, it looked to me like maybe that ball did come down when he was down just short of the line. They put it right on the line.
And it's such a key play. You very might well go for a 4th down and inches here because you're down by 14. You don't want to kick it back to Baylor. So you're in a position, even though you're a shotgun team, you might put Matt Davis back in. You get him healthy. 4th down and inches. You want to show confidence.
After further review, the runner is down prior to reaching the line to gain. It will be 4th down with a half yard to go.
Well, a half yard might be exaggerating a little bit. Let's see where they actually put the ball down. But Matt Davis has got they are spotting him well back there. Allison, you got anything down there on Matt Davis?
Well, SMU does not release any sort of official medical information. I would agree with you guys. It certainly appears to be cramps. He did run out of the locker room, continued to stretch a bit, warmed up his arm, took a few reps, jogged on the sidelines. Good news is, I believe if they had gotten that first down, he would be out there. He did give me a thumbs up.
I'm a little surprised that he wouldn't be in the game just to go for it here on 4th down.
Well, and they could fake this punt. It's also set up. They might have to call it off if Baylor is up there looking for the fake punt. So you're probably seeing them call the fake off and go ahead and punt it because Baylor is definitely looking for the fake.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So Josh Williams punts another one. This one not quite as good as his last one. It will take an SMU bounce inside the 30 to the 20, close to the 30-yard line. There is Matt Davis, who's had such a nice game for SMU. Here's the play where he was down, and you don't see anything obvious. What you do see is immediately he grabbed that lower leg, like the calf area, and he was asking the training staff to try to stretch it out. He was obviously in a lot of pain.
And he's been running a whole lot tonight. He's down there trying to pick up his offensive lineman and keep them going. So it'll be interesting to see if he can go back.
Well, Baylor gets the ball back here. Meanwhile, tomorrow night, Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo. It's number 20, Wisconsin, number 3, Alabama from Arlington, Texas, just across town here, 8 Eastern on ABC and Watch ESPN, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. all around town. We have seen all kinds of Wisconsin and Alabama fans in their gear getting ready for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, give both of them credit going on the road and playing such a big game in the opener. A lot of people won't do that.
Flag before the first play of this drive for Baylor. They got to get the call itself sorted out.
False start. Offense. Number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the second one of those on Jarrell Broxton, the right guard.
Sometimes you have some defensive calls that make them jump too, and it gets frustrating. But in an early ball game, you're going to have some penalties like this. Give the Baylor staff credit. They're not all over the kids. They're just trying to get it fixed.
That's the 10th penalty now on Baylor. Nice hole for Shock Linwood. A lot of running room across the 40, first down, and much more to the 44-yard line.
SMU doesn't have much depth. Now they're having to stay on the field. It's 90-plus degrees, and it's harder to tackle a big back this late in the ball game.
2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Baylor went 97 yards their last time of the ball, going deep here. Coleman, the intended target, is knocked down, incomplete. Nice play defensively by Jordan Wyatt, the freshman safety.
Tremendous play by Jordan Wyatt. I mean, you're in a perfect position. Corey Coleman had him beat. He didn't quit. He kept going. He got his hands up and makes the play.
Yeah, and he made the play. Also might have grabbed a little bit of that shoulder pad, but I think that contact mostly came after the ball had touched the hand of Coleman. Now a handoff to Linwood again. You said it at the start of the previous drive, Coach. Art Briles lying to us. The run game travels.
He does. And he also said he'll take doubles instead of home runs out of Linwood, and that's what he's getting because he's a really good football player. Tough play there on third down. Decision by the Baylor bench. Do you go for it now or not? Yeah, he's going to go for it.
That would qualify as a ground out. So now it's fourth down.
You could try to pull them offsides because it's less than 5 yards on a fourth down. So you could see some kind of shift. You could see some kind of different snap count here to try to get one of the SMU guys to jump. But big play if SMU is going to hang in here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is pure Baylor going for it on 4th and 2 right near midfield. Handoff Chafin. And Chafin has the first down. The big power back, 225 pounds. And Baylor told us he's healthy. Look out.
Coach Art Briles made that decision. He told his son, Kendall, go for it and make it. And usually you ask the guy, do you have a play you think can make it? And they always say yes. They never say no. And the kids want to go for it. So what a confidence boost for Baylor on that play.
First down into SMU territory. Chafin gets the ball again, pushing that defense ahead for a tough 3.5 yards.
Yeah, they hit him at the line of scrimmage. Get a little tired. Big offensive line at Baylor's taking over. Art's running the football. What should have been a no-yard gain or might have been in the first quarter ends up being 3.5 to 4 yards.
We do talk a lot about the speed of Baylor. They've also got great size. I mean, those guys up front are big and strong. Play fake. Russell down the sideline. What an adjustment. And it's the senior Jay Lee for his second touchdown. What an effort by Jay Lee. 42 yards.
Go to the expensive guy. The experienced guy makes the play. He's inside. He's one-on-one. This is a back shoulder throw. He was covered, so he laid the ball back to his outside. He turns around, keeps really good body control. That young man knows how to play receiver because he stayed in bounds and kept some space when he had to turn, and then he turns up and scores. 2 touchdowns in the last 2 drives here for Jay Lee. The experienced guy, the leader, stepped up like we thought he would, and all of a sudden we've been talking about Baylor struggling. They're going up 42-21.
3 catches, 3 touchdowns for Jay Lee. That's pretty efficient.
And we're still in the third quarter. That's
is.
what Baylor can do to you. They can score so quickly, and that's why their offensive team can have confidence, because even though they didn't do anything in the second quarter, they're lighting up SMU here in the third.
So 42-21 now the score. The 4th-ranked team of the country with the 3-touchdown lead. 27 seconds still to go in the third quarter, and Art Briles has a moment to have a visit on the sideline.
Yeah, he didn't feel like that until the last two scores, I can promise you. Now you can see his ex-players and welcome them back and pat them on the head. A few more smiles, and Art's doing a great job of telling the guys, congratulations, good job, Seth, bringing us back. This will be a tremendous confidence builder for Seth Russell.
Well, there's a little more bounce on the Baylor sideline. I mean, you know, those kids were feeling some pressure. It was halftime. SMU had the momentum in this game. They're huge underdogs, but they came to play. Baylor very frank about their goals for the season. Cannot lose a game. Kickoff, another deep one out of the end zone for another touchback and another trip back to the studio with Adnan Virk.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Just an update with regards to what's happening in tennis. So Serena Williams lost that first set 6-3, but she's now 12-1 this year when she drops the first set. In fact, she tosses up a bagel against fellow American Bethany Maddox-Sands. She will next face Madison Keys. Also currently in action, Rafael Nadal versus Fabio Fognini. That's on ESPN2. Dave?
All right, Adnan, thanks. So can we make a tennis to football comparison? The big favorite challenge, but in the end, just a little too strong. I mean, there's still a long way to go. And their quarterback, Matt Davis, is back in the game. An immediate completion for a short gain out to the right side. So that's good news for the Mustangs because he has been excellent.
Yes, and Baylor didn't break serve in the second quarter. They more than done that in the fourth quarter if we keep talking about tennis.
Yeah, well,
now SMU's got to stay on their game plan. Don't try to be a throwing team because that's not who you are. Keep doing what you're doing and try to get back in the game in the fourth quarter.
Receiver comes in motion and they give it on the fly sweep. Coming to the right side, and a nice game by Raheem Malone. That will count as a pass. It was almost like a little shovel pass. And that is the end of the third quarter. Well, SMU has been real tough in this game. Do they have enough to challenge Baylor in the fourth? We'll find out. 42-21, Bears lead. Start of the fourth quarter here at SMU, 42-21. That's the Baylor lead, starting to pull away, but we'll see if SMU has a little fight left in them. Our game track brought to you by Straight Talk. These two quarterbacks so key for both offenses. And Mac Brown, both of them have played really well.
They've played really well. Both coaches have to be pleased at this point. Art's trying to finish this thing strong, but Chad Morris has got to keep his guys playing. They let up some last year in the fourth quarter. They can't do that now. Compete is what he's telling them.
Third and short and competing for those 2 yards, but Matt Davis did not get them. And now it's fourth down. And let's see what SMU wants to do here. They're going to send the punt team back in.
Yeah, he doesn't want this thing to get out of control, and he's trying to send messages to his team. He's trying to learn to win. He's trying to keep playing hard. Baylor's got much more depth, so the SMU guys are getting worn down. Baylor's got enough depth, even with their suspensions, now that they can play too deep.
Another punt for the freshman Josh Williams. Hawthorne comes over and lets it bounce. Takes very much an SMU bounce and kicks out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. Well, how about on Monday? We've been talking about that big game in Blacksburg, Ohio State and Virginia Tech. Immediately following that game, and I can't wait for this, the new Sports Center like you've never seen before. It's Scott Van Pelt and his new show, his new nightly Sports Center show, weeknights at midnight on ESPN. So the first one follows a great football game. We get to see Scott's version of Sports Center. Not like he's a rookie on that show, but I think this one will be a little different.
Scott's great, but we're going to see two of the best coaches in college football in Urban Meyer and Frank Beamer, and maybe one of the best places to play, best atmospheres to play with Blacksburg, Virginia on Monday night. Should be fun.
Big time. It'll be rocking. And who knows, the Hokies shocked Ohio State last year. Maybe they can do it again. This one is caught on the first play of this drive by Baylor. That's another one of their deep receiving core. Davion Hall, the sophomore. pass fake. They hit Hall in the hands, and he dropped it on 2nd and short. So now it's 3rd and 1.
Baylor wants to take another drive, and then they could substitute some. The clock's not really an issue to Baylor. SMU needs to continue to play hard on defense and get a stop or a turnover.
Hand off. That's a first down and more for Johnny Jefferson out into the open. Russell down at the 43-yard line.
You're seeing the SMU players not getting quite as good a stance. They're losing some eye control. They're getting a little bit tired now. You've got hands on your hips. They're not moving around with as much confidence as Baylor continues to snap the ball quickly.
Russell with all kinds of time. Showed off a strong arm, but incomplete. Intended for Chris Platt, number 14.
That was one of his poor throws. You don't throw the ball high across the middle because it can be intercepted. And the only way Baylor can really get in trouble now is let SMU force some turnovers.
Well, 319 yards passing, 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 rushing touchdown for Russell, but only 14 of 29. He finds his number 1 target, number 1, Corey Coleman, off to the races, touchdown.
Pass complete to Corey Coleman for the Baylor touchdown.
Speed kills.
It does. He's not even the fastest guy in that receiving corps, but he turned on the Jets 57 yards.
Yeah, he may be 4-3 instead of 4-2. Outside, man-to-man coverage, takes the stop route. Again, a tired SMU football team because they haven't been able to substitute. Missed the tackle that should be a 5-yard gain. Corey Coleman turns it into a long touchdown. That's what makes Baylor's offense so good. They can score so quickly.
5 plays, 85 yards, less than a minute. They did it real quickly there with another extra point try for Chris Callahan. And that one is good. So the 4th-ranked team in the country really tested by a game SMU team, but Art Briles and his company, his team, start to pull away. They lead 49-21. You can stream every game live at home or on the go. Just download the Watch ESPN app or visit watchespn.com. We're back here in Dallas, where the SMU Mustangs are down 49-21. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown with you. We noticed the SMU head coach, Chad Morris. This is his first game at the helm of this Mustangs program. You can read the lips, Coach. Keep playing.
He's going to keep them playing. He's done a tremendous job to get his team prepared tonight. He's had an outstanding game plan. His kids are playing hard. They're a little undermanned. They're not as talented as Baylor. They're not as deep as Baylor. But he's got a real strong message to this team in the 4th quarter, and that's do not let up. Play like this game's nothing, because we're learning how to win on every snap.
I mean, unquestionably, this game has already been a positive for SMU.
Absolutely.
Kick return here to the left side. That's Deion Sanders Jr. to about the 25-yard line. Back to the studio once again at Danford.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Just an update on what's happening with regards to Michigan State and Western Michigan. That's right, a cover alert. 18.5 was the point spread in favor of the Spartans, but that's Zach Terrell to Corey Davis. So now that's making things interesting with regards to the line, 34-17. And also coming up, Chris Peterson, a school record 92 wins when he was in charge at Boise State. Now he's returning coaching Washington. That game is coming up next. Dave?
All right, Dan, if we're talking cover alerts, this one was 36.5. It's up to 28 for Baylor. We're still a long way to go. And the Baylor defense has, I think, you mentioned the depth started to wear down SMU's offense. Braden West had nowhere to go.
And they've gotten more 3-and-outs and stops here, so it gives you more rest. And you get a spurt of confidence when your offense plays so well.
Number 75, Andrew Billy, he can wear out a lot of guys. Maybe the strongest player in college football. Matt Davis steps up, going to run. Kind of stutter steps right to that first down mark, and he got there to the 35. That's an SMU first down.
Look at Billings, number 75. He runs completely over the right guard. But again, you lose contain. You get inside with a defensive end. It gives Matt Davis a chance to run for another first down.
Yeah, Brian Nance had been there. Billings would have pushed the quarterback right to Nance, but he ran right on by. Now 1st and 10. Fake that fly sweep action. Here comes pressure from Palmer. Kind of throwing it up for grabs into triple coverage, incomplete. He's got a lot of confidence in Cortland Sutton, maybe too much in that instance.
Well, the SMU coaches talked about worrying about Matt trying to make every play and win the game by himself. Matt's a smart young man. He can see it's 49-21, so he's just trying to make a play.
Well, they found their quarterback, though. I mean, they have a couple talented young quarterbacks on this roster, guys they think are going to be good. They've got a player who can be a good quarterback right now.
This is a much better SMU team than we saw any time last year.
They won one game last season. Second and long after the play fake. The ball was tipped, and that helped force an incompletion. Terrell Burt, celebrating his birthday, helped knock that one down. It's 3rd and 10. Well, if you want an example of how much SMU has already improved, last year their first offensive touchdown at home came on October 25th. Their first touchdown at home of the season. Their first touchdown at home this year came on their first play. That was instant improvement. 3rd and 10. In the pocket, Davis going to try to run. Here comes a flag behind the play. He did not get to the first down mark across the 40. In that holding neighborhood, we'll see what it is.
And right now, the SMU offense is not built for 3rd and long.
It's not.
That's not who they are. And Baylor's defense is playing really well right now to put pressure on them.
Holding offense, number 71. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
So they declined the penalty. That means a gain across the 40 to set up a 4th and 3. And I don't know, maybe SMU goes for it or maybe not.
No, at this point in the game, you're trying to send messages to your team. You want them to keep playing, but you don't want the game to get in the 60s and embarrass your team after such a good effort tonight and playing so hard. And they don't have to beat Baylor to win their conference championship. So he's working on next week's game already.
Josh Williams booms one deep. Hawthorne inside the 10. Fair catch. And that sends us to a timeout. 11:30 to go in Dallas. 49-21 Baylor.
ESPN College Football is presented by Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Sandwiches and in part by Smith & Forge Hard Cider. Built from apples, built to refresh, made strong.
Allison Williams, where the 4th-ranked team of the country pulling away from SMU. This was a much closer game in the first half. 49-21 is the score with the Baylor offense coming back on the field, and that means more of these two, K.D. Cannon, Corey Coleman, the only teammates returning to college football this year who each had 1,000+ yards last season. Tonight, Cannon with 104. Corey Coleman 178. They each have a touchdown, and their teammate Jay Lee, the senior, has tied a school record with 3 receiving touchdowns in this game as well. And that almost looks unfair when you stack those two together. They'll hand the ball off, big hole for Jefferson, the tailback, who's really kind of the 3rd stringer for Baylor. He got a block from big number 80.
What people don't really understand about the Baylor offense, they run the ball so well, you have to bring guys in and play man coverage outside. They're too fast to cover one-on-one.
That's a bad snap. Russell will pick it up and look to make a play. And he will make a play of sorts. He didn't lose big yardage, so that was pretty nifty. And he actually got, I think, the yard to get the first down. Did he?
Check the spot.
Well, I thought he did. There's a little question here with the officials about whether he got the first down or not.
I think Coach Briles thought he did.
I do too. Both Coach Briles.
Yes, the family.
3rd and a yard. They hand it off to Chafin. That was a tough yard, but he got it. And we were talking with Kendall Briles yesterday before this game. And when he talked about his dad, he called him Coach Briles. There was no dad or Art or anything. It was, well, Coach Briles wants us to do this. And
well, he said he was hard enough on him. And Jeff Lebby, his running back coach, is married to his daughter. And he said, we don't spend a lot of time as a family outside the office.
So Art's got his son and his son-in-law on the staff. First down for Baylor. Hand off Chafin. Another broken tackle. He is a strong kid. Out to the 24.
And the SMU defense is worn out. That should have been a no-gainer. They just can't tackle right now. They've been out there enough, and it's hot, and there's just not enough depth. But Van Malone's done a good job tonight. He took what looked awful early. He made some adjustments and had them playing hard, and now he's just got to try to keep the guys focused on their job and making tackles in space.
That's a handoff, and Terrence Williams with an opening for a first down across the 30. I mean, people might be listening to you and going, now wait a minute, 590 yards of offense, 49 points, and the defense has done a good job. But I'm with you. They have shown some positive things in this game, some things that we never saw from SMU all last year.
No, they're outmanned. Baylor's got a lot better players right now and a lot more depth than SMU. SMU's played with a tremendous amount of heart, and they've been well coached tonight.
Now, last year in the head-to-head matchup, Baylor outgained SMU by 500 yards and shut them out.
And what Coach Briles is doing now is he's sending a message to his football team in the fourth quarter with a big lead, be able to run the football, kill the clock, and finish the fourth quarter as a strong, running, tough football team. That's going to help them somewhere down the road in a close game where you've got to run your 4-minute offense when you've got a 3-point lead or 7-point lead to try to win the game.
2nd and 7. Russell keeps it. Russell straight ahead. Russell out into the open. And he can move all the way inside the 20. Russell dives across for a touchdown. But there is a flag on the play. Not all the way back at the line of scrimmage. Zamora, it must be on him because he's the one arguing. Well, that's going to negate the points. It's still going to be a big gain on the ground for Seth Russell.
Quarterback hates a 60-yard run.
Offense, number 8, 10-yard penalty. Line of game still will be met. First down.
Quarterback loves that run. Here's a kid competing. He's a freshman. Let him go. If you'll let the shoulder pad go, let the jersey go, they won't call the penalty. But when there's separation and you're still pulling the jersey, it's 100% penalty. It's holding, and it's a good call by the official.
So it would have been a 65-yard touchdown run. It's still a nice gain, 38 yards for Seth Russell. That is a dimension that he brings to this offense that maybe they didn't have as good as Bryce Petty was last year. And is that going to be it for Mr. Russell? He's putting the helmet down.
Yeah, you're sitting here with 8 minutes left. You've got total control of the game. You've got one of the best high school quarterbacks in Jarrett Stidham, by the way, from Stephenville, Texas, where both of these guys coached, and you want to get him some work.
All right, welcome to college football, number 3, Jarrett Stidham.
Legal substitution, offense, 12-minute formation, first down.
So first snap for the new quarterback, but I'm not sure that's on the quarterback there.
No, Coach Briles won't be happy with that. We always say as head coaches, you can count. And we know fans can count, so get 11 on the field. You can't play with 12, and you don't want to play with 10.
Seems simple.
But guys, you can count to 11.
Well, this is an exciting moment for Baylor fans. Jarrett Stidham has got a huge amount of talent. Here's his first pass, and his first pass is a touchdown. Yeah, he's got talent. My goodness.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the country. He's a young freshman, very highly recruited, and he's a guy that's very confident, but he can run, he can throw, and Coach Briles has done a smart thing. He puts him in the game with 8 minutes left. The game's under control with Baylor, but he's going to let him throw deep for a touchdown. Good protection. He steps up. He lays the ball outside over the outside shoulder. It's a perfect throw. We're watching a young guy who will be a star at Baylor before he finishes.
42 yards, his first pass as a college quarterback for a touchdown to Chris Platt. And yeah, the hype, the talent level, they love that kid. And they talked to him about redshirting, not redshirting. He's not the starter. Seth Russell is the starter. He wanted to play, and they want him to play because he is the number 2 quarterback. And at some point at Baylor, he is going to be a big-time star.
And you've got to have 2. It's a long season now, so you're not going to probably keep your first-team quarterback alive.
Well, welcome to college football, number 3, Jarrett Stidham, and the Baylor Bears, 56-21. 56-21. The Bears, fourth-ranked team in the country, with the lead. Well, celebrating its 11th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Got a lot of those here tonight with all the offense on both sides, but it's been all Baylor. 28-0 in the second half. It was a 7-point game at halftime. And now Baylor leads by 35. With the kickoff deep to SMU. That looks like Deion Sanders Jr. again. Out to the 24 with a flag thrown. So we'll sort through the penalty. Baylor was the most penalized team in the country last year, and they have made some penalties tonight, but it's been more of the sloppy illegal formation, false start type penalties. One of the big mistakes we haven't seen from Baylor. There were times last year where those personal fouls and the holding calls that were difference makers for them.
During the return, holding receiving team number 18, personal foul, face mask, defense number 27, fouls offset, re-kick.
All right, that's one of those mistakes. Before they re-kick, quickly back to studio and Adnan.
All right, Dave, thank you. Just an update right now, attack in regards to Michigan State, Western Michigan on ESPNU. It's Zach Terrell to Jeremiah Mullinex. Touchdown as he's wide open. So it's actually a 13-point lead right now for the Spartans. 7.5 minutes to go. Coming up next right here, Washington returning 9 starters, the fewest in the Pac-12. Well, their hands fall as they take on Boise State. That game coming up, and if our game isn't over, it'll start on ESPN News before shifting back here. Dave, Mac, back to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Adnan. The offsetting penalties mean another kickoff coming for Baylor. 35-point lead. Well, remember, SMU, it was 28-21 Baylor. SMU had the ball. They were driving at the end of the first half. In fact, they had first and goal from the 3 with about a minute to go, a little less than a minute to go in the first half, with a chance for 3 yards to tie the game and getting the ball at the start of the second half. And they did not get any points. They mismanaged the clock, and they have not scored since.
Lost some momentum there and haven't been as effective in the second half.
It probably wasn't going to make the ultimate difference in this game, but I do think it was a big sequence. Another return for SMU out to the 27-yard line. Well, the Buckeyes beginning their title defense, looking to avenge the only loss they had last year. This time on the road in Blacksburg, where it will be rocking. Number 1 Ohio State, Virginia Tech, Monday, 8 Eastern on ESPN, also on Watch ESPN. So those Buckeyes with all of that talent on the road against a good team to start the year. TCU went on the road against a good Minnesota team, and they struggled a little bit. They ended up getting the win, but it was close. Alabama, Wisconsin, 8 Eastern on ABC tomorrow. As SMU gets the ball back. You have any impressions of TCU? I mean, just like Baylor, huge co-favorites in this Big 12 conference.
Second down.
That was not a fumble. The runner was down. And national championship contenders, TCU.
I think these have been perfect openers for both. They've stayed healthy, and at the same time, they've been able to win a football game, a tougher one for TCU than for Baylor here. But the coaches can go back and say, all the preseason hype's over. You got to fix this, you've got to fix this, and you don't want to be perfect in your first game.
That's an interesting point from a long-time, very successful coach. Baylor reads that play well, and they drop Braden West for a lot. Most coaches that I would talk to would say your most improvement as a team comes between weeks 1 and 2.
It does. The only thing is that means your opponent's going to improve the most between 1 and 2 also. The truth is, the longer the game goes, the best team usually wins if they don't panic and turn the ball over. And Baylor took a game that was kind of swirling out of control there a little bit. Their coaches were patient, they were patient, and now they're going to have a blowout win in their opener.
3rd and long. Matt Davis rolling left, pressured. He'll throw. It is caught. Wow, what an athletic grab there along the sideline. That's a catch, and I believe that's a first down. That's Darius Joseph, who had a big year a couple years ago. He's an experienced player.
Outstanding play call, moving your quarterback on third down situation, getting him outside. Again, very impressive throw. Going to his left, across his body, outstanding catch as well. SMU still competing.
Handoff left side, West dropped. Well, I think this combination, you have the experienced guy, Prescott Line, and he is tough and skilled. But these two freshmen that we've seen, Xavier Jones and number 6, Braden West, they're going to put up some numbers in this SMU offense right away as true freshmen.
They are, and they move Prescott Line around, so he can be an H-back, he can be a tight end, he's a tailback. But these guys can run.
And so can this quarterback. And Matt Davis pushed out of bounds after getting positive yards on second down.
Yeah, Matt Davis gives SMU a tremendous amount of hope for the rest of the season. Keep him healthy. He will get better. He's played so well tonight. They're probably not going to play many defenses this good.
So 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. They use those big cards, graphic cards, to help get the play call in. Taking plenty of time here. Davis throws. It is complete for a first down, right at the mark. Nice delivery. And a catch by Xavier Castile. Let's go down to the sideline and Allison Williams.
Well, Dave, you and Mac were talking about Matt Davis, what he's demonstrated on the field. I'll tell you something else that's been pretty impressive, and that's his leadership on the sidelines. Before they took the field here, he told his team, look, up 40, down 40, it doesn't matter. This team, we don't quit. We finish the game. We are not laying down for anyone.
Play fake, Davis rolling, dumps it short. The pass is caught. And that's the tight end, Mitchell Kaufman, another true freshman from right here in Highland Park.
And Allison, that's a great point. People are asking, why is Matt Davis still in the game? This is a new staff, a young team. They're working on their offense for next week. That's what they're doing. They're not going to win this game, but they're keeping Matt out there because he needs to get experience.
In the pocket, rolling, takes a big hit. Heaves one downfield. It's going to be intercepted right at the goal line. Tion Wright with room to run along the sideline, out of bounds at the 30. And man, Matt Davis just got crunched. So that's an interception. Baylor gets the ball back, and Matt Davis paid for it as well. Bears 56-21. That's their lead. Three hours of the best college football analysis. Herbie, Des, Reese, and Coach Corso. And it all starts tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. Tom Rinaldi making the case on both sides for the Ohio State quarterbacks. How about an amazing story, reunion and homecoming? You won't want to miss that for Alabama's kicker. And Brad Paisley live from Fort Worth. All starts tomorrow, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN, as Baylor and their true freshman quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, with the ball back. A handoff, and Terrence Williams stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Under 4 minutes to go. The highly touted Stidham, his first college pass, went for 40-plus yards and a touchdown. Now maybe his first drive as a young Baylor quarterback. Second stringer. Slings one out to the left side. And that's another completion with a flag thrown from way behind.
And Coach Briles is trying to do the same thing with the guys that are on the field now. He's got some younger guys out there, but he still wants them to compete. He still wants them to work because these are the guys that play if somebody gets hurt.
Blocking both the ways. Offense, number 14, 15-yard penalty, second down.
So that's another illegal block, this time on Chris Platt, who caught the touchdown on the last drive.
Well, redshirt freshman. You get out there in a ball game, it's your first time to really play, and you're trying to compete, you're trying to get there, and you have a tendency to cut a big defensive back, so young guys have to learn.
2nd and 18. Handoff, and a short game for Baylor. Back to the studio and Adnan.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Just a reminder, coming up after your game, everyone's going to be seeing Washington and Boise State Currently over on ESPN News, Boise State returning 17 starters, most of the Mountain West. You can see Ryan Finley under center right now as they're about to punt. Back to you, Dave.
All right, thanks, Adnan. On third down and long, the handoff. Williams breaking tackles. Williams is off to the races. He's going to be brought down from behind, but inside the 20 with under 3 minutes to play. Terrence Williams with the huge gain on the ground of 56 yards. What a burst from the redshirt freshman.
Again, speed. They've got really good young players. And Coach Briles is not trying to run the score up here. He's got tremendous respect for Chad Morris. He knows his team, SMU, was well prepared today and played hard. But when you hand the ball off on a long yardage situation, you can't keep them from scoring.
He's got his second string in there. Williams with another carry. This time just fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. There's no drama in the result. There's a little drama for the point spread. Baylor 36.5 point favor. They're up 35 with the ball inside the 25-yard line with under 2 minutes to go. So there's certain people who are very interested in the final 2 minutes.
Coaches don't watch that much, but you get reminded a lot after the game.
2nd and 11. Stidham scrambling. He'll be brought down from behind. A sack for SMU. That's Jarvis Pruitt, the junior defensive end. Clock continues to roll. 3rd and long. Baylor handed it off on the last 3rd and long. We'll see if they do that again.
And SMU's got backups in the game too, so it's a great learning experience for both teams. SMU needs to develop the depth more than Baylor.
And they will hand it off once again. Williams stacked up and brought down. Well, this could be a field goal try, which would also be an impactful play. We'll see if Baylor wants to give their place kicker a little practice or not. There's a difference between game clock and play. Art Briles shaking his head saying no.
And he's waiting as long as he can to let the clock run down.
Yep.
Art's ready to go over and shake Chad's hand and say, you did a great job with your young team. You've got them headed in the right direction. Good luck. Chad's going to say you played that second half like a top 5 football team. And he's wanting the clock to run out.
Well, they are going to snap the ball and hand it off again. Williams dropped. And that means this will be the final score. Art Briles could be real happy with the way that the second half went. And his team was challenged. I mean, they're huge favorites. But make no mistake, SMU came ready to play. Quick strike offense early in the game. And his team responded.
Yeah, it's a perfect opener for him. He needed some pressure. He needed to be challenged. They need to quit listening to how good they are in TV now and go play, and he'll be able to coach hard. But great respect from Coach Briles to Coach Morris by running the ball on 4th down, letting the clock run down so the score stays like it is.
In the end, Baylor's offense, 722 total yards, 56 points on the board, just so much firepower.
And only 1 yard in the second quarter.
They had 1 yard in the second quarter.
That just shows you how explosive they really are.
And they finished the game with 722. Wow.
Yeah, both these coaches will leave tonight with something to build on and something to feel good about.
Final seconds ticking off the clock here. And it's a new year for SMU. It's going to be a much better year. That's just about a guarantee for the Mustangs. And that does it. The final seconds tick off the clock. Final score, the 4th-ranked team of the country, 56-21 over SMU. For Mac Brown and Allison Williams, Dave Fleming saying so long. Now off to Boise, Idaho. It's Washington and Boise State.